Hey everybody, it's Christina, aka Sassy. What's up? What's going on? So, in light of the current events, I decided to go ahead and redo the intro for the Thursday check-in, which is why you're here today. So, just FYI, obviously what you're seeing now is going to look different, excuse me, from the actual collective readings themselves. Before we get started, however, first, let me apologize for the presentation yesterday while I was recording, which was Tuesday morning. Okay, so that was October 8th. I started to feel the heaviness in my chest, and that's when I know. So here in Central Texas, this time of year, ragweed and mold are kind of like peaking, right? And I'm someone who is very allergic to most types of pollen. It sucks. I'm used to it, but right now I'm currently under a full-on allergy / asthma attack. So the asthma I have is seasonal allergy induced. So if I have to use this, don't let this alarm you. If I have to pause in my breathing, it's normal for me. Okay, so just to let you know. Having said that, my eyes are burning, so I'm kind of squinting at you today. My lungs are burning, so we're not breathing so well. Overall, I look like crap. I sound like crap. I feel like crap. Having said all that, let's talk about Milton, aka Big Bastard. And let me tell you something, that indeed Milton is projected to be a big boy. Category 5, aka Big Bastard. Okay. Now, as of this morning, while I am redoing the intro, October 9th, Wednesday morning, it has still not hit landfall yet. It is projected to either tonight or Thursday morning. And even now there's talk, okay, of it being recategorized to a 4 or a 3 as it loses steam. We don't know yet, okay, but that's not the point. Evacuation is evacuation is evacuation. There was enough notice, okay, that the people who are subject to the evacuation orders were hopefully able to get out. It's stressful, and it's a huge strain on resources. I hope no one ever has to experience it, but people do, okay? It's more than a matter of inconvenience. It's terrifying, all right? You go into conservation mode regarding all your resources, be they monetary, transportation, gas, all right? And then also, of course, electricity. That being said, guys, you know, I'm not a thoughts and prayers person. That's just not me. I'm an empowerment person. So in that respect, an empowerment to those folks who had to go through evacuation and you're still undergoing it, keep your head down. Stay focused. Stay calm. Get to where you need to be. You will eventually get home. But until then, you get to where you need to be. Conserve your resources and know what matters. To those folks, you are like myself, you know people in Florida. If you've heard from your person, great. Please, please, please do not pester them for updates, okay? For the reasons I just spoke of. Priorities change when you're under evac. Finding shelter and food and access to power to charge those mobile devices, okay? It's not so readily available, so do keep that in mind. Don't panic, be patient. All right? That's all any of us can do. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize that. And this channel, Sassy Scorpion Tarot, would also like to lend further support. What I'd like to do is offer a 10% off channel merch, okay? That's listed in the description box. For all viewers, 10% off all merchandise from the store using code Milton10. And that will be good until October 17th. And what I'll do is after October 17th, all sales that have been identified under the code Milton10 will be pulled aside, 100% of those profits, and they will be donated to the official disaster relief fund. Okay? That process is lengthy. It's going to take about a month, but to me it's worth it. Okay? Because, because those kind of funds are going to be needed, not all at one time, but at several points over the next couple of months. So my point is every little bit helps. Okay, and I just want this channel to do its part to help.
Oh, girl. There's my pumpkin. Yeah, do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, Sassy fam. Yeah. That's my good girl. I know. I know. Look how big you are. Everybody talks about how big you're getting. My little Cinnabon. My little Cinnabon.
I'll say this about Floridians, as I have come to describe them. They are remarkably resilient as people, and what seems like an unbreakable personality. I've had the pleasure of visiting a couple of times for different reasons. Some were business and nature with conferences, and others were for family trips and stuff like that. But every time you have this impression of, fucking Florida. Florida people are tough as shit. Do you know what? Excuse me. My eyes, everything is just fire. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes. Do you know what Florida, and I mean this with respect, okay? I mean this with respect, but also, yes, my sassy humor, because I'm still me. But Florida, to me, when I think of Florida as a state, Florida is our crazy hot chick girlfriend. That's what she is. That's what Florida is. Florida is our crazy hot chick girlfriend. You know, if you roll with her, you're gonna get in so much trouble. But you will have unforgettable memories. That's what it's like when you roll with Florida. You're not gonna forget it. Florida has an anthem that's the opposite of Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? No. What happens in Florida? Everybody knows. But yeah, that's what Florida is. Florida is the United States' crazy hot chick girlfriend. I mean, beautiful. She's smoking, right? The weather, the skies, those knockout beaches, the nightlife, gorgeous. Oh, hot, she's smoking, but she crazy. She crazy. Florida's going to get through it. You're going to get through it. You always do. You always do. Some of the most honest, optimistic, crazy, wild, hopeful, and also don't with me people you will ever meet. I know those people, and I'm proudly connected to them too. It's just how you guys are. It's in your spirit. You know what I'm talking about. And the people who know, some Floridians, you know. And you're like, yep, that's exactly what's up. You guys, to wrap this up, because I need to go rest now. Okay. We're going to do the adapted Celtic cross, obviously, and charms, oracles, that kind of thing. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you that I did not see or call out, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. If the reading does not resonate at all, this is normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. You guys, like always, your sign will be timestamped in the description box as well as the comments. I got you. Anything else? I will see you for the Sunday check-in. I will see you at your sign. And if you're able to, use that discount code once more. 100% of the profits under Milton 10 by October 17th will go to a disaster relief fund once those are set in place for Florida. Okay? You guys, take care. Be well. Leo, what's up? What's going on for Leo, please? Show me, Leo. What's going on for Leo? Page of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Oh, yes. King of Swords. The Nine of Wands. Knights of Cups. And before you, the Five of Cups. Okay. Okay. Strength, you. That's wonderful. Just nice to see your power card literally under your primary category, so that's good news. And we need it as well. King of Cups, very good. Yeah, I didn't think so. The Emperor and the outcome is Queen of Wands. You'll be all right. It doesn't look like that on the opening, and I know it, I get it, but that's why we're here. It's to show that human beings are in a constant state of fluctuation, growth, spiritually, emotional, or physically. The point is growth, upwards and onwards. Okay, yes, we have setbacks. Yes, we have delays, but we are not meant to stay them in a long-term state. We're not meant to set up a residence here as a long-term resident. Okay, you will do better. Your opening right there, Page of Cups, crossed by a Page of Pentacles, automatically told me. Okay. Either very shyly trying to introduce a prospect of love and reality, or there's just not much for you to display right now. And that's what I'm opting for. There's just not much for you to display right now. Don't get me wrong, you have oodles of feelings before you, but for now, it's kind of like I kind of want to exist down here. So we have radically reduced our energy to a couple of operating pages. You tried to keep your heart open towards what matters, but the fact of the matter is we're not terribly interested in changing a dynamic. It's like I don't want to force it. It is what it is. And I see you in your energy almost nobly, in a very noble way, saying, I need to accept this as is. So once more, good on you, because I typically see people try to resist it. And I see that you've done so in the past. Let's talk about that. So your opening's pretty straightforward, you know, and you're showing me I need to be tough about this. I need to have mental resilience. So while you have a little guy, a little pip there, that Page of Cups saying, this is me right now. No new investments. I'm not up for it. I believe you. You've made a head over heart decision here to operate under a place of sort of mental authority. This is what I know. 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 Again, we all get to that from time to time. I totally understand it. Most people do. I respect it. Sometimes we just need our mind to kind of take over our heart. Again, it's not a long-term fix. It's a short-term thing. All right? And so long as we know that, it's going to get easier. So I understand and respect that point of view of this is where I need to be, mental focus, operating from up here, logistics, rational reasoning, logic. Thank you. Okay? We're trying to keep the emotions low at this time. And I tell you why, you have experience with this. 9 of Wands in the past. You're saying, I know exactly what it's like to resist. And it has done me no good. Right? And I completely agree with you. 9 of Wands, called the Wounded Warrior, it has limited sympathy in my book. Stop fighting the same fight, and then you'll stop getting the same results. You have to know sometimes when to fight. Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, if you've been through something before, and it's coming across as repetitive of how you dealt with it in the past, and you're still getting the same results, at some point, we as human beings need to realize it and say, I'm not doing this again. I've done it before, and it just causes more harm. So you are showing me a sense of mental fortitude. Okay, I need to stay here in the moment, in the present, and this is what I can control, this is what I can do. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get locked down into old emotions and old behaviors of the past. I'm not doing it. Be that an argument that you understand is useless and futile, or you investing into negative emotions, because there's this idea that you could do, but you don't want to. You don't want to do it. You're determined to stay present. So I don't know where it is that you could fall on the other side of that fence that easily traps you into negative emotions and repetitive behavior patterns. I don't know what that is. But you've already shown me a certain level of decision and mental fortitude to stay here in the present. What's exiting is a sense of love flow. Knight of Cups. Now, ideally this is what we would see, but you're saying that's not my reality. Okay. You're saying my particular love flow is exiting and I don't want to fight it, or someone else's love flow towards you is exiting and you don't want to fight it. It's kind of like I just want to accept this as a write-off. I'm not saying you're done with it. You're just saying I need to accept the pain and disappointment of this. I don't want to fight and persist for feelings that simply aren't there. Okay. Now, whatever this is, it's emotionally exhausting to you to engage in it because you're saying you've done it before, you know what to expect. And if you really felt the need to fight for this, it would be more like that. Okay? The sense of disappointment is exiting and you want emotional flow that's hopeful. You're saying that's not the case anymore. I won't get involved. I withdraw my emotions, or someone else or a situation withdrew theirs. I need to accept it. It's not easy for you. You understand this. But you're saying it's better than fighting it or resisting it. You've been there, you've done that, you won't do it again. So again, congratulations to you. And I promise you're doing the right thing, I know, because I can see the results. Okay? When you intercept an old behavior pattern, you see it for what it is. You take your time to grieve it, say this is how it is, I won't fight it, etc. This, I accept it. It shows. It just won't be an immediate show. But it's there. Strengths, literally you are you. Excellent. You're really, really showing me the stand-up traits and characteristics associated with a developed Leo. Okay, a Leo who knows they need to rise in strength, into initiative, will, and fortitude. Okay, seeing things for what they are and showing strength of will towards that. Okay, well done. You are you. Leo, for some of you, might be your north node or possibly rising. Okay, but such an auspicious placement. This packs quite the punch. I think you're quite the Leo to contend with when you're on point, when you're on form. Okay, King of Cups is your environment. See, there you go. That's why I'm not too worried about you. So much love. Love of the self. You have such a beautiful, bold heart, just not for whatever this is. It's exhausted itself fighting for it and allowing the flow or accepting that the flow is not there anymore. This is the truth of it. It still means you have a beautiful heart at the end of the day. You still know how to love with depth and an intuitive feeling too. So that's all beautiful. Okay. Rest assured, the bigger part of you is intact. Just not for this situation. All right? You still know how to love. You still know how to receive love. And it's just a matter of time before you will, as we see. Hopes and fears of the Emperor. You know, again, hopes and fears is not an outcome. It's not a guarantee. It is simply a reflection of what we hope for and therefore fear for simultaneously, because human beings have that thing called duality, black and white. It's both. We are both hopeful to stand in our power, to be strong, to be someone of strength and character. But we're also afraid that perhaps we're showing the wrong type of empowerment. We're being too strong-willed. Okay, no. With the path that you're on, I think you're rising to empowerment quite well. This is so hard for people to do, to leave something alone that they know they're supposed to. And they will fight themselves and fight others. Saying, I've done that and I'm exhausted, I won't do it again. That's how I know you're rising towards empowerment, that you're not using strength in the wrong ways. Okay. The outcome is the Queen of Wands. Aren't we feeling quite spiffy? A lot more natural energy bursts for you. I think you're very loving. I think you're very outgoing. Okay. I think you have a very strong internal system of control regarding your emotions. And I think you have a very extroverted outward appearance and way of engaging with people. You're very on form, on point, and in character towards the end. And frankly, quite attractive. I like the quality of your heart, though. In the absence of this, it really shows of what's correct for you. Love yourself. And look at the power burst you have in future. Something's lining up for you. It just may not be obvious right away. But the more you make roads in this, the more this becomes apparent. Let's get some advice for you. Not that I think you need it. Go with the flow with this. It will take time, but you're doing very well. Let's get some advice, please. I just heard Tom Petty's Breakdown, a very specific line from that song. Your eyes give you away. Something inside you's feeling like I do. We said all there is to say. Breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me. Very specific line that just jumped in out of nowhere. I promise you I did not have Petty on this morning. Interesting. Something inside you is feeling like I do. We said all there is to say. The Wheel of Fortune, King of Wands, there you are, darling, Six of Wands. Just a matter of time before you feel yourself again. Your natural state of grace once more popped up right there towards the outcome. And I told you these things take time. You will remember what it is to be you at the height of your own particular glory, if you will. So your particular king here, King of Wands, okay? And the Six of Wands, there's a sense of triumph in you. You will understand this again in due course. I know you can remember what this is like, but more importantly, you can see it for yourself again in future, as I've seen for you. It's literally a matter of time, I promise you. You will return to what feels like your glory days of triumph and pure energy. And that sense of, this is where I have to be unapologetically bold. It's very you. It's very you. When you use the Six of Wands correctly, this is very you. Okay, I'm being seen for the right reasons, for the right energy, and I feel it. I remember it. And it could be mine once more. And it is. It's under your future orientation, too. Beautiful. Well done. Very consolidated there towards the end. I'm just convinced you can't see it from your current point of view. Why would you? Let's pull some oracles. There may or may not be something in this related to your story today. That's one of the advantages. There's a false person energy, number 8, Capricorn as well. I'm not saying it's automatically that. That's the association in this deck. For some, that sense of devil or falsehood, wearing the fan of disguise, falseness, somewhere in this situation. No longer having to put on the pretense, the mask, okay? Or the hat, however you want to put it. A bit of luck, a touch of luck, okay? 4-leaf clover, of course, and then for some of you, representation of spring. And the storm. A bit of luck in the old storm here, 6. We could all do with a bit of luck when we're undergoing a storm. I'm not sure I was going to do charms, but I'm reaching for them, so don't get me wrong, it could be out of habit as well. Oh, okay. We have the letters W, C, Cat, intuition. Yes, please do listen to it. The arrow striking home, the arrow Sag, and then also Cupid's arrow. Okay, for some of you. The leaf, specifically the maple leaf, the turning of the leaves, Canadian, or Canada. But also that time of fall. Okay, in other words, we could be looking at the height of energies now. And then we have the great white shark in reverse. This is not something, and I see that for you here as well, that's not worthy to pursue anymore. To fight for. It's not a matter of survival. We've turned our back on this. We no longer pursue it. Very good. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag. What's up? What's going on? Show me Sag, please. What's going on for Saggy? Show me Sag, please. What is going on for Sagittarius? Three of Cups, 5 of Swords. I had a feeling I was going to say the 5 of Swords for you. I saw it flash in my mind's eye, but because I didn't say it, can't really claim it, but FYI. The Tower, yeah. Okay, 8 of Cups, 4 of Cups, before you 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, time to get back on track, I agree. Page of Wands, the Fool. 8 of Swords, and the outcome is the Magician. Well, I'm glad we got this sorted, and I'm sorry that this was revealed to you in such a harsh way. So let's start with the very beginning. 3 of Cups is in your opening. There is this emotional construct here that suggests I can keep this connected in the heart. I'm not seeing it as the reality construct of I'm connecting to someone. You're showing me the emotional construct of I can keep this going, I can keep this connected in my heart, but you don't believe it. 5 of Swords crosses you, which is actually a good position. If the 5 of Swords has a good position, this is probably as good as it's going to get. And I'm not laughing in a way to be crude. It's just from experience, I can tell you that's probably as good as it's going to get. You don't fully believe this, you know. Typically, when someone's completely bought into the idea, that's false, right? Self-sabotage, trying to win at all costs in our mind and in our heart. It's like this. There's only a part of you that's kind of invested into the idea of I can keep this going and believe it. And by that, some sort of emotional connectivity with someone else. I can keep this. Yeah, you don't really believe it either. At least half of you doesn't. Part of you doesn't. Something's crashing in soon. The Tower is crowning you, if it hasn't happened yet, soon. Okay, so for many of you, you're right around here. That's going to completely blow the lid off that old, warped, microwave to death plastic container. In other words, it's not going to hold its shape anymore. This false construct that you only kind of half buy into. You don't really believe it in your heart, and you don't really believe it in your mind. And the Tower is going to come along and finalize that and say, no, it's true, Sag. It's completely true. Here's something you need to know. Here's something you need to see. Here's something you need to witness. Or it could just be that lightning bolt of a moment that is a thought that says, this is bullshit. And there we have the parting of the clouds. Some light breaks through, and we can finally see something for what it is. A situation for what it is. You don't really believe it either, baby. Even your mind's like, I can't keep buying into this. So we're going to have a Tower moment that finalizes it and said, this is stupid. Or this is cap, as the kids say. Not short for Capricorn, just cap. Okay. I think it's interesting how language changes over time. The adaptation of words to take on new, etc. I'm a word junkie. I love tracking down the origin of words because I'm a nerd. Now, that aside, Eight of Cups is in the past. Recent past. In other words, it still affects you to this day. This is why you're showing me a half buy-in construct here. You're kind of checked out from this already. So the past is not saying that it's over. That's more what the exiting position's for. The past is to say, hey, this is what you've experienced not too long ago, and it's probably still affecting you in present day. It's important. This is why you kind of half buy into it. You were already kind of checked out from this construct, this emotional construct. Water, water, water. Or for a while. I'm not saying from the beginning, but for a while. A while. That tower is necessary, guys. We need to see this. We've been emotionally absent from this, not checking into it, not from the heart, not emotionally attached to it or available to it, making ourselves emotionally available, not wanting to be emotionally available to it. I mean, that's, again, why you're showing me this half-hearted construct of, I can keep it going, kind of. Four of Cups, this is good. It's in the exiting position. The more we accept this, the disappointment can start to exit. Okay, that sense of sourness. I'm still connected to this. And it's still disappointing. And I'm still making myself believe this. That can start to exit more once we accept this is how it's been. This is what I'm telling myself today. This is irrefutable evidence. Okay, I can stop feeling like crap now. I can accept this. This is beautiful. It's just not going to feel that way. Okay. Expect mental resistance, maybe even physical resistance, but emotional resistance, you're not going to put up too much of a fight, excuse me. Seven of Pentacles is before you in the future. Yeah, this is what we might call restructuring. Okay, Seven of Pentacles in this position after what you are showing me makes perfect sense to me. You want to get back into a path that's familiar to you. Stabilize, in other words. Okay, this is familiar to me. The structure is familiar to me. I can tend to this and keep myself going, structured, preserved. This is what matters. This is what I need to focus on. It's going to give you something to do, but more to the point, get you back in touch with your roots on a known pathway here. Okay. But yeah, we're learning rather the hard way, but also not so much the hard way. Honestly, it wasn't anything you didn't already kind of know. Partial acknowledgement is here. It's just now catching up to you, the full weights of it. And we're going to need something to focus on. We're going to need something to give ourselves some sense of structure and stability. Okay? In your Strengths, Page of Wands, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's okay. We'll start there. A little bit of openness, particularly your page. A little bit of openness in terms of curiosity, hope, just looking forward to other things. The Fool's in your environment. By hook or by crook, we're going to open up. We're going to take a risk, some sort of new beginning. Okay, so here we have the willingness to focus on the basics, but also to be a little bit more open and exploratory, explore new pathways in our lives, any sort of direction that it might take. There's just a general sense of openness and trying to be open-minded for yourself in future that no longer seems to include this dynamic. Okay, so I see a hope for you that says it's kind of scary to take off, but also I kind of want to. Yeah. Eight of Swords is in the hopes and fears. You're concerned by that which it is you cannot see. But what you can see also concerns you. You want to make sure that what you're seeing here is correct today, and you don't know if that information, if you can trust it, and also why did you take so long? Eight of Swords has the implication of procrastination. Was procrastination a good thing? Did things play out the way they did? Could I have prevented this? All that's going to be on your mind, and you're not going to have any answers. Not for a while. Not until you open up more towards this will this get more resolved in time. There's just some things you cannot fully see right away. But the point is, with more detachment from this, okay, the more we're going to clear up that confusion. Confusion, all right? Where it all came from, how long we weren't seeing this, why did it take so long? Did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? And if so, where? Okay, all that crap is going to get filled in over time. But we're not going to be able to clear it up when we're still in it. Many of you back here are right around here. Okay? And then the Magician's in the outcome. You're manifesting what? I have no idea. But you look comfortable enough with what you do know and open enough to show demonstration towards manifestation. So you're showing me that you want something. Dear universe, I want this. Okay? So whichever that is, it's that declaration that says, I'm ready to ask for something. For myself, for a new beginning, to be more open, to be more willing to let this go, you name it. Manifestations have many different shapes and forms. Let's get some advice for you. Point is that you made enough progress, okay, in contending with this, that you feel comfortable manifesting something. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I said that. I have no idea why I just said 1, 2, 3. I think that was the first. Huh. If that means something to you, you do let me know, yes? The Hierophant, the Four of Swords, the Lovers. FYI, there is something here. Don't know how this relates. I'm not going to lie, I was focusing on that Magician just a wee bit. That Hierophant, Four Swords, the Lovers, that's really strong. And it seems to have absolutely nothing to do with your baseline today. This is something else. If I had any indication at all that they were related, I would tell you. Your advice is that for those of you who have the initial instinct to heal a powerful connection, your instinct is correct. There is something here that strongly, and I mean strongly, calls to you and possibly someone else. It is bare minimum a high-level spiritual connection, and it seems to have some healing attached to it. It's a strong influence that encourages healing, insight, and spiritual reflection too. One or the both of you pull on it a great deal, so that means I believe that both of you possess these skills. But whoever's instinct it is, there's going to be one person who has the instinct here to heal with that connection directly is correct. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. It's very colorful. There's a spiritual vibrancy that you and this person share that's really hard to understand, but you two are deeply connected to it. It's quite beautiful. Whoever has that instinct, their instinct is correct. But I am convinced you both pull on it spiritually. You both learn from it, learn from each other. You receive spiritual influence from each other, high levels of impression of each other, dreams, daytime connectivity as well. Okay? It's beautiful. Is this what we wish to manifest? Is this how you're showing me opening up and taking a risk after everything you've been through? Quite possibly for some of you, yeah. Why not? This here, to be clear, I see no indication of healing, and nor should we. There's something here, like I said, it's time that we stop forcing that lid to fit that warped container. The more we try to force it to fit, the more we understand we're dissatisfied and that we've been checked out a long time ago. No. It needs to take its final bow, it seems. Okay? Childlike thinking, number 13. Okay? Childlike thinking, the fantasy. Oh, yes, it's very easy to get caught into the fantasy. Okay? And don't get me wrong, fantasy implies hope, but it can also imply false beliefs. And I can keep this going. Magical thinking. Again, all oracles, like all tarot cards, they have a positive as well as a negative. It reflects human nature. Okay? So positive thinking, fantasy, hope, imagination can just as easily work against us if there's a Five of Swords attached there. Okay? But yeah, no more. The childlike wonder on this one's over. Okay? the staircase, crossroads, decision, the old AB, 1, 2, door 1, door 2, that kind of thing. We're at that staircase for some of you. Number 22. 26, great fortune. Some of you have been blessed with great fortune, or perhaps you're on that road to prosperity. Maybe you do not know it yet. Number 26. Okay. Oh, just 2 charms. The letter Q. And we have the medallion of Gemini. Some of you might have some very prominent Gemini in your chart. Could be connecting to one. And then also hearkening back, by the way, to the Lover's Connection. Gemini's power card. Okay. But also, yes, could be speaking to that as well. All right, Saggy honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries. What's up? What's going on? Show me Aries, please. What's going on for Aries? Okay. 8 of Wands, crossed by the star. Yeah. Hovering, 2 of Swords, past, 9 of Pentacles, exiting 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords before you. Strength, the Knight of Cups. Environment, Ace of Swords, hopes and fears, Ace of Cups, the outcome, the Hermit. Okay. Right away, opening up with some form of communication that you're showing me a lot of, should I have hope for this? Okay. Some sort of communication, possibly action. 8 of Wands or any sort of wand energy really has the nature to show up in the physical. It just kind of depends. But let's call it communication for now. So there's a lot of hope and expectation, kind of. And I say kind of because the star is in the challenge position. I don't know how much hope you should be putting into that. You seem to be confused by this as well. 2 of Swords is crowning you. I'm really hoping for some sort of positive communication here, but part of you knows it should pull back and perhaps not put too much faith in it. Okay. It's kind of like saying I hope to get good communication, but perhaps I shouldn't put too much hope into it because we desire it, but we don't want to desire it too much. Am I going to hear what I want to hear? I hope I do, but maybe I won't. And so it gets cut in half. Okay. And even you yourself, 2 swords that crowns you, you're like, did I see what I needed to see? Did I hear what I wanted to hear? Can I trust any of this? 2 swords sits on the top of your head. The information you do receive doesn't seem to make you any clearer. And then that kind of amplifies this need to, should I hope for this or should I not? So let me just, if communication is not straightforward and clear to you, or let's say you're hoping to hear something but you're not hearing it, then you already have the results. You don't have to talk yourself into or out of anything. There's nothing to be blind about. You either have absolute tangible results or you do not. So I hate seeing anybody put half kind of hearted hopes and desires into communication and still say, I'm still confused. You shouldn't be at this point. Something's either meeting an objective or it doesn't. The words are either what you needed to hear or see, or they were not. There is no need to put layers of unnecessary hope and desire into something if it's not meeting the criteria of what you needed to hear or see. Okay, 2 of Swords then is just unnecessary. 9 of Pentacles is in your past position, which means it's not that it's over. It still influences you to this day. I'm looking at a well-to-do independent Aries. You know these things. You know what it is to shore yourself up under your own goals and structures, in your own sense of this is what I can do, your own sense of stability. You know exactly about the things I'm talking about. Okay. You don't get to be like this based on communication that may or may not be authentic, that may or may not be what you hope to hear and want and desire. You don't need to do this 2 of Swords thing. Something is either what you needed to hear or it's not. You don't have to do this. Okay? You're too experienced. All right? What's exiting for you is 4 of Pentacles. There's some sense that you holding on to this needs to be let go, specifically the hope for it. A star is a beautiful thing, but if you're getting something that suggests communication or showing up in the real world and it's not correct, part of you recognizes this and acknowledges it because frankly, you know better. You do. Mixed signals mean no, guys. And that's not just a romantic partnership. It's anything. Mixed signals mean no. And you adding additional layers of, well, maybe I'm not sure about that. No, you are. You are. You are. You don't need to do this. We can start to let this go. And I know it's going to hurt. 3 of Swords. But can you honestly tell yourself, Aries, is this in our best interest to let this go? We can stop doing this. Maybe hope for it. Maybe I'm misconstruing. Maybe I'm not understanding. Yes, you do. You're not giving yourself enough credit. I think you understand the situation exactly for what it is. And you say, let's hold out some more hope. But we're still confused by the result. You can stop. Okay? Stop. Mixed signals mean no. And a star, guys, that's like a billboard. You can't miss it. So whatever communication you're getting, whether you're listening to something in tarot and it's not what you want to hear, but it's kind of, again, it all applies. You don't need to force it to fit, just like any sort of communication you have with someone else or a job. You don't have to force it to fit. It's either meeting the criteria of the star or it's not. That's it. That's it. We need to start to let this go. And yeah, it's going to hurt, but I want what's for you in your best interest, not what it is you kind of think hopefully maybe will work out. Maybe hopefully it's kind of what I wanted to hear. No. It's either what you need and your needs are being met or they're not. Okay? And I know it's going to hurt, but your strengths are is that you, Knight of Cups, you want to show whatever this is, love. I know you do, honey. I know you do. I know you want to show whatever this is, love, and express yourself. It's hard to be vulnerable. Also represents vulnerability, the only Knight that really does, you know? I know. So this situation, whatever it is it worthy of it? Are you getting back an emotional flow? Are you getting back vulnerability? Okay, you're getting back emotional trust. And it's just because it's your strength doesn't mean it's the other person's strength. Don't project skills. This is yours. That doesn't mean you're receiving it. Understand? Ace of Swords is in your environment. I know you're someone who respects the truth. So respect the truth. You're smart. You're smarter than this. Yeah? You do want the truth, and I respect that. I think you do. But when you get mixed results, it's so tempting to kind of half-heartedly believe it, but not fully sink yourself into it. So when you have a full truth, you should have no problem accepting it, right? You're smart, you're intelligent, you're in a capable Aries. I've seen it. Make that work for you, not against you. All right? I know you got a soft spot for a situation, and you hope it will be returned. That's your skill. Clearly not what it is you're hoping to receive. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to be wondering at this point, yeah? 8 of Cups, hopes and fears. Part of you really wants to emotionally vacate this. Part of you hopes for it, to walk away from it. You're also fearful of it simultaneously. Hopes and fears is not a guarantee or an outcome. It's simply a reflection of our nature. What we hope for is often what we fear for. I know you hope to walk away from this, to get yourself out of any more emotional debt towards this. But you also fear it too. I want you to take these beautiful skills and insights and remember that they apply to you first and foremost. If you're not receiving what you need, you have your answer. Don't play yourself a fool. Not that kind. There's the good kind of fool, and then there's the not good kind. Yeah? Yeah. I just don't think that's the Aries I know. The Hermit is in the outcome. Good. Strong sense of wisdom, insight, understanding, and proper reflection that we need for this situation. I know you know better. I know you know better. Okay? This is what we need in the end. That's your outcome, and it's brilliant. I know you know better. Give yourself the reflection and healing that you need. Okay? Let's get some advice, please, for Aries. Let's get some advice, please, for Aries. Five of Wands, the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands. You know intuitively what I'm saying is true. You're fighting yourself. Okay, you fight your intuition. I know this is what you're hoping for. This is what you're getting. Your intuition's caught in the middle. You show me strong hope elements over this, passion too. And of course, your natural fiery sense of fight, fight, fight. I know you. I know. I gotta fight, but the more you fight the situation or for it, the less you can hear yourself. And I see why you have a large attachment to this. It inspires you, but it seems to also trigger in you that sense of disbelief. Part of you does not believe in this. Right? If whatever this is wanted you to hope for it, it would leave you in no doubt. Let's use some reverse psychology there. See how that works in the reverse? If someone or something doesn't want you to doubt them, there is no room for it. All you have is room for doubt on this one. In the Aries I'm looking at once more, you know better. Okay. We're going to start to let this one go. I'm happy to see that Four of Pentacles on the exit. It's going to take a while, but that's okay. I'd rather you get to the point than not at all, yes? All right. I know. And that's not what life should feel like. We should not feel like we're left wandering around in the maze trying to find the center. The prize usually isn't worth it. If whatever the situation is wanted to be found as a prize, you wouldn't be in a maze at all. There'd be no confusion. Okay? Number 43. There's concern here. Number 33, marriage. Some of you might be in commitments, and you wonder if this applies to you. Yes, you can have this level of confusion, and do they want this? And I get mixed signals, and in a marriage too, of course, absolutely. It's not just for people who are in situationships. You can have a situationship in a marriage. Why do you think people stay in them so long? It's because now we got a situationship that has lots of papers attached to it. No offense. But yes, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It shouldn't feel like that, is my point. We shouldn't feel dazed, lost, and confused about what the other person wants. It should be very clear. So if they wanted you to find them and hope for it, the situation or them clearly, there would be no confusion. That's it. Done. Okay? That's it. Someone wants you to find them. They say, I'm here. They give you a little pin drop for GPS. Like, well, it's more fun if I just let you wander around and maybe you'll find me. No. I was like, this isn't why I'm here. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. This is what I feel. It's really straightforward. Okay? Lightning bolt, tower moment for some of you. Critical insight coming. The frog with the coin in its mouth in reverse. This is a non-prosperous situation. Okay. Aries, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius. Right. Oh my. Devil. Crossing temperance. Okay. It's going to take a minute, but okay. There's some progress. That's the point. Strength. Nine of Wands in the past. Exiting King of Cups. Okay. Okay. Before you, the Emperor. Okay. You're going to have to dig deep on this one. That's all I know so far for the Aquarius I'm looking at. You just pulled. Excuse me. Four majors. At your opening. So, my goodness. Strength, Ace of Wands. Oh, you'll need it. Justice is in your environment. Good, good. Page of Cups, hopes and fears, outcome, King of Swords. You're going to have to get your head wrapped around this one. There are many components. Some of them might be legal for some of you, okay? But it comes from a space of this needs to get done too, okay? So this one is either very much going to be in that case if it either applies to you or it doesn't. There's not going to be much middle ground. All right, so Devil, straight away, very strong sense of bad feeling right now. Possibly anger. You're trying your best to keep it in check. Temperance's challenge. It's really hard for you to kind of be patient, be calm, consolidate these difficult feelings. Patience, 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 patience. Try not to be pissed off, Aquarius. Try not to be pissed off. Try not to be pissed off. And it's taking you strength of will like a mucker, right? And I don't say that lightly because it's literally on the crown of you is strength. It's like some of you are trying to rise above this to the point of night sweats and try not to give in to it. Okay. Try not to give in to the anger, frustration, the badness, whatever that is. And it's tempting too. It's so tempting to give in to the anger, guys. For the Aquarius I'm looking at, what you're angry with, I don't know. But you also say you know better. But you're saying I know better through gritted teeth. It's hard. This is challenging you like nothing you've maybe ever known before. Or if you experienced it once, you most definitely didn't want to experience it twice. It's hard for you. It's hard for you to show patience towards this, whatever this is, with yourself. The situation, of course, is coming across very heavily situational. Trying not to lose your temper, trying not to think bad thoughts towards it or create bad actions around it either. Okay, because you know you could do. Nine of Wands is in your past. You're showing me strength of will to keep your temper in check and to not take things, frankly, too far or to return whatever negativity is being given to you, because you could do easily. Nine of Wands is in your past, which means it's not over. It just means we have experience with it. You're saying if you want to put up your fight, you damn well can, you know? But you also recognize to some extent how self-defeating it is. Nine of Wands is ultimately self-defeating. There's times we must fight. There's times we must put up walls. Absolutely. But they're not meant to be long-term measures, not meant to be that way at all. But you're saying you could give tit for tat if you wanted to. And you're having to suppress it. King of Cups is on the exit. Man, that's harsh. You're saying whatever love I have for this situation or person is gone. Is gone. There is no love. It's like I will not have a big heart for this, and I will not receive that feeling either. You know? This is challenging you, and it's pissed you right off. And you're doing your level best to keep your temper in check and not to respond in hateful, angry ways. The Emperor's before you, that sense of empowerment, taking charge. Okay, I will not budge. Okay, you will not show it heart. It's like those days are over. King Cups is out. But good judgment, strength of will, and character are still mine. I agree. Okay, I absolutely agree. You are showing me a kind of resolve in that sense of I will have things from my way too. Okay? So I will not succumb or entrench myself to all the negativity. Don't get me wrong, you probably have moments where you're very tempted to. Perhaps it even leaks out a little bit. You say something you don't mean to. And maybe even a behavior too you don't like. But you're trying not to play that game because you know how self-defeating it is. Okay, so I agree with you. You don't have to love this anymore. It doesn't look like you do. But you are in control of you. Okay? Empowerment. Okay, you're sticking to your guns a little bit as Emperor, being a little stubborn. Okay, I got it. There's something in here that says justice too. Your side of the fence, your side of the equation is equally important. I agree. Okay? The way you're using strength to suppress your worst sort of initial reaction tells me this is very difficult for you. I really want you to dig deep on this one and command forth from your will. All right? The sense of I will not be provoked into a reaction. I will not give in to my baser instincts. I will not give in to the swell or rises of anger because I know that's temporary and that's not who I am. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. Okay? It will not be like this forever. It's just for the Aquarius I'm looking at. It's today and probably tomorrow. And maybe for the next couple of weeks. Your strengths, Ace of Wands. You look forward to the possibilities of new beginnings, of being open to new influence. It's remarkable given where you're coming from. But behind it all is this Ace of Wands is I will be marked with a new beginning. I will have it. I will have the insight. I will have the influence. I will have the passion. I will have the light of path. I will have hope. I will. And that's, again, very indicative to someone who is showing me strength of will or they're used to it. You might have a lot of fire in your chart, by the way. Yeah, you have all the major players here. Sag, Leo, and Aries. Of course, Capricorn too. We have a lot of majors here today, but a very strong core concentration of fire. And the Ace of Wands. I admire that. Justice is in your environment. You're like, I'm trying to keep this shit balanced. So again, at this point, given the level of frustration and mechanics that I'm seeing here today without clarification, I'm going to go ahead and take a guess at this. Yeah, some of you are undergoing legal difficulties. So again, justice isn't just a kind of supreme sense of spiritual balance, and also surpasses the Six of Pentacles, which is the physical sort of balance. It has all the elements. Technical, legal, spiritual justice is. And that's the huge emphasis. Like, I'm not going to just give in to you. I'm going to have some of my way too. But it is going to be balanced. In this environment, I think we're dealing with physical proximity items under the context of justice. So technicalities, legalities, this kind of thing. Okay? May it be balanced and may you retain your share, whichever this is. Okay? All right. Page of Cups is in your hopes and fears. You're not really fussed about it. And you've dealt with bigger emotions at this point, so I can't say I blame you for that. I'm not worried about it if you're not. Honey, if you were able to accept that your larger heart space is on the exit for something, I'm not worried if you're not worried about a Page of Cups in your hopes and fears. You're like, I'm not really too worried about opening my heart or closing it off at this point. You're like, frankly, it's amazing to me I got this far with a certain level of dignity and strength and empowerment. Okay. Like I said, I'm not worried about it if you're not. King of Swords is in the outcome. You're showing me strong sense of mind here, determination. Things have been decided upon, and I will stand by them or next to them. I will enforce them. This is your particular king. Here's the King of Swords. That's your natural state of grace right there in the outcome, suggesting that you are pleased with what you are seeing in terms of information, how decisions are being made, the Ace of Swords, and how, frankly, things are weighing out. You're saying, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm present, I'm clear-minded and focused. I am me. So that tells me things have improved quite a bit. You're no longer having to pull on strength. You're no longer having to pull on Emperor. You're no longer having to pull on this sense of justice. You're saying things are clear. Okay, which is good. Given that outcome and your general disposition here to use Ace of Wands as your strength and your environment determined to make it justified, I say that's amazing about where you came from. You kept your head in the game and you tried to keep your anger, well, just the negative emotions, that is the devil here with the temperance crossing, the things that are very hard for you to show patience towards and goodwill towards. Very hard. You managed to keep that in check. Okay, strength did its job here on your crown. Let's get some advice, please. But you're seeing things quite clearly in the outcome. Your mind has shifted in that respect of, okay, this is where I am now, and I can see things clearly, which suggests things were indeed cleared up. Let's get some advice, please, for Aquarius. Show me that advice, please, for Aquarius. Seven of Cups, the Chariot, the Two of Cups. Your advice is to move forward on your emotion in time. It's funny because you showed me you weren't worried about it in the hopes and fears. Maybe there's a reason why. That was very interesting. It was such a little guy right there in that position, which is fine. Minimization of the issue. And that could also be because you're relaxed around the subject, that you know your life is going to move forward. That would also explain your Ace of Wands and your strengths category. The Seven of Cups, the Chariot, Two of Cups. The advice is you will be open and frankly in the position of moving forward in love when you're ready. It's actually quite strong, and it almost looks non-negotiable. So perhaps that's why you're showing me the Page of Cups and hopes and fears. You're really not worried about it. You seem to understand that that's part of your emotional destiny further out. So if you can keep this in mind, you're good to go. There's so much emotional resolve to move yourself forward in a way that's positive and next to something that's reciprocated. Okay. Perhaps this is what making this process not necessarily easier for you, but it's making it easier for you to get through, knowing that something is for you on the other side of all this, or that's where you intend to be. It's a lot of emotional aptitude and, frankly, positive direction. Especially after you told me such a strong opening. Whatever my love is for this is no more. It's finito. It's been scratched out of the books. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of legalese in this one. The courthouse is here, the family tree, the roots are being divided. Honey, I'm so sorry. If some of you are going through divorce, it's always ugly. You have to keep that in mind. It's always ugly. Okay, which is unfortunate. I strongly recommend mediators, but if someone's determined to do all the ugly things and say all the ugly things, especially as it centers around the Tree of Life, the Ten of Pentacles, the legacy, the roots, who owes what to who, justice in the environment. Guys, you know, the reality is that even if, let's say, it's not divorce, let's say this is a work thing, okay? It gets ugly. It gets ugly when people want what's theirs or they perceive it, and most of it's coming from a place of hate and retribution and bitterness. When people truly will and say, this is what's mine, and that's it, it's for no other reason, they clear their plate faster, okay? And some of you, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to remove the emotionality from this, stand in our power. And I said, I see you insisting that this is what's mine because we want to keep the negativity out of it. We realize how futile that is, especially if there's no love in it. What's the point? So I insist that you should get what's rightfully yours. This is correct. This is how we stand up for ourselves. But it also allows us to further divide. You will get nothing from me. Not even my hate, right? That's why some people like to drag things out and make things as painful and awful as possible, because if we can still have proof that person hates us, they still feel something even if it's not love. Isn't that disgusting, right? So don't fall for that if you can help it. That's why you're showing me strength of will. You want to make this as clean as fight as possible. Okay, I understand. Number 23 and 5. And once more, the legacy here. Community, property, this is what we built, the Tree of Life once more. The courthouse, the details. Okay. I understand, honey. I get it. Okay. But yes, if you can do mediation, wonderful. If not, there you go. Journey. As we see over here at the Chariot, things will move forward when they are meant to move forward. Number 10, journey. All right. Some of you separating, parting of ways, you know. The physical relocation as well, of course. Oh my. We have your medallion twice, Aquarius, Aquarius. Both of them are your medallions. You might be double, triple Aquarius. You could be connected to a fellow Aquarius. Could be indication, by the way, since it's double medallion, your season as well. Okay, when things might be finalized. And once more, somebody else got the cue as well. How auspicious, how different. All right, Aquarius, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Gemini? What's going on for Gemini, please? One more thing. Let's see, Gemini. Judgment. The Knights of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Oops. Knight of Cups is in the past. It's still influencing you to this day. Exiting. Nine of Wands. People keep showing me Nine of Wands in various positions. It's interesting. It's interesting. Barriers being put up, reinforced, coming down. Before you, Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Strengths, the Star. Beautiful. Five of Cups is in your environment. I'm sorry. We'll talk about that. Justice and the hopes and fears. And the outcome of Six of Wands is a sense of victory. Opening up straight up with Judgment. Knights of Pentacles crossing. You're like, I ain't. No. You know, we have a very, very slow lesson creeping up on us. And it's taken a minute. It's like your Knight of Pentacles, like, I ain't trying to learn that. I ain't trying to absorb that lesson. Thank you. But it is. You may not know it because it's so slow and it's not your aim. It's not your intended aim to learn a lesson. It's not your intended aim to understand something that's meant for you to make a decision on. But nevertheless, even if you don't believe it, even if it's not obvious, you're still headed in that direction because a lesson is a lesson is a lesson. It has a way of keep being there or keep trying to get in our face until we see it for what it is. And you're like, but I'm not trying to do that. Nevertheless, it's coming through. So when it arrives, when you finally kind of like stop and be like, okay, what is it you're trying to tell me exactly? Why you keep knocking on my door? Why you keep giving me signals? I've got other things I need to do. And yeah, I know, I see that. You're surrounded actually by quite a bit of activity. But I don't know what it is or when you'll fully acknowledge it. But when you do, it'll be good for you. Okay? It'll be good for you to finally acknowledge something. An insight, a decision, a lesson. It doesn't mean they're painful. It's just like the sooner we recognize it, we're like, I got it. We can kind of cross it off our list and incorporate it accordingly. It's not as painful or as direct contact as maybe the Tower is. But nevertheless, you are moving towards it. It's just a matter of time. I think you get, to be honest with you, my impression is that you get pieces of the lesson here and there, but you haven't seen how they added up to the full picture yet. That would be my interpretation. Every now and again, you get a piece and you're like, well, isn't that interesting? I think it goes there, but we're still missing about a couple hundred. Okay. Queen of Wands is crowning you. Now, looking at you physically, you're great. You're energetic. You got some good energy there. You look good. You feel good. Maybe you're just naturally a high energy person. I don't know, but I kind of like the way you glow. You have a certain sense of ambition and a well-to-do kind of everyday attitude of, I got this. You know, it is completely different than your internal spiritual energy, which is running much slower for different reasons, but your external is actually very apparent. It's very visible. People can see you. They can sense you. You have a particular charm attached to you. I don't quite know. It's almost like you have a youthful... It's like you have an old soul, but a youthful appearance. Let's put it that way. That would, yes, that's exactly how I'm trying to describe you. You have an old soul with a youthful appearance because your energy flow is completely different outside of you. Internally, you're like, that can wait. That's nothing. That's just another piece. We'll add it to the collection. Doesn't mean it's going to add up to anything. It is. It is. I wonder what it's going to look like when it's done. But your external energy is just vibrant. It's lively. You have such a youthful countenance outside. Your Knights of Cups is in the past. That doesn't mean it's over. That means it's still, if it's something you experienced in the past, it can still be affecting you in present day. And Knights of Cups for you in the past suggest I had a certain emotional flow and it felt good. It felt soft. It felt vulnerable. You know? I like the way I feel now outside. It crowns me. It's with me every day. And yeah, I can still open up to that Knight of Cups. It can still feel good to open myself up and be vulnerable with somebody and express myself. It feels good. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all gravy. I like it. I like myself. And I like that you like yourself. And I've told you that before. Nine of Wands is in your past. Great. Some sort of barrier you had. Barrier. Okay. Some sort of resistance is coming down. It's exiting. And guess what's before you in your future? Six of Pentacles. I see you bouncing in a situation that perhaps you had been putting off. And you're like, I'm not going to deal with that. No. It's some sort of balance, though. It comes up in the 3D. And that could be anything from a construct that you have with somebody where you go back and forth, not necessarily romantic. It's anything that's tangible that shows up as a balance. I balance with this situation, this job, this something, because this is what I get from it and this is what I give to it. Back and forth, back and forth. So something here that you've been like, oh, I want to do that. I don't know, honey. Perhaps you've been putting off laundry for months. I have no idea. The point is that we're, yeah. That's how minute it can be. Or it could be a much larger role than that. I don't know. It's up to you. It's just whatever you've been resisting. You're like, I'm not in the mood. Okay. Well, you're going to be in the mood soon. I don't know. And I don't blame you. Your emotionality is on point. You're tapping into the flow that you've had in the past. It's adding to your kind of brightness that I see. You're such an interesting Gemini. You really do have old soul, but outward youthful appearance, and that's that lightness that's attached to you. You have a particular flow of vibe attached to you. So anyway, whatever it is that you've been putting off, you're not in the mood, well, you're going to be in the mood soon, and you're going to get some balances done. And that's always a good feeling too, right? You've been putting stuff off, procrastinating, or frankly, you might have been a little at odds with something or somebody, and you're like, it's good, man, it's good. I can balance it. Come on, let's do this. And it's good. It's going to benefit you. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to do this because it does look beneficial. Let's see. We have the star here in your strengths. That's beautiful. You believe in something larger than yourself. See what I'm saying? Again, it's that old soul energy. But you're upfront. Your outward appearance is someone who's just... I think you get that compliment where you look or act so much younger than your age. That's what you come across as, and I like that. That's cool. There's a softness to you, and you do tend to try to live in the moment, and I like that. So the star here, like I said, is in your strengths. You believe in something larger than you. You try to navigate by this idea of a star, right? Something that means something to you, goal-wise, and you try to navigate a little bit every day towards it. This is my star path. This is my star path, and you try to rise to it, and it's not an overnight sensation. Anyone who's ever traveled a star path will tell you that. You have to make achievements a little bit every day, and you don't really see what it's added up to until a lot of time has passed. You have to put yourself into it. You try to put yourself into your star a little bit every day. You try to stay on the course every day. Again, very admirable. Now, in your environment, you're showing me some sadness here. I don't know why. And it's old, too. Old emotional heartbreak or disappointment or regret or loss. But it still haunts you to this day. It's either directly within your environment, okay? In other words, it's old pain that is constantly being refreshed, and it's in your everyday environment, or something is coming up to kind of quote-unquote haunt you right now. If I were to take a guess at that, it went very internal very quickly. It looks personal to me. It seems not to have anything to do with balances that are suddenly being you're getting to it. You're just getting to it. And you're in the mood now. Whatever this Five of Cups is, it seems to be personal to you. I don't see it being worked through. It's just something that lingers in your heart space. Don't get me wrong. It could be fresh Five of Cups that's playing out to this day, but it's very close to home and therefore very private. Or it's something that kind of lingers in your heart because you haven't worked through it. And that's actually my first interpretation. And I think that's one of the things that's related to your opening there with Judgment. That little piece that adds up to a larger puzzle. It doesn't have your full spiritual attention. But every time you get a new piece, because this is the only time I see you go internal. Right here. Every time you get a fresh piece, I think it's going to make more sense to that puzzle and why you hold on to that Five of Cups and why it hurts you. Okay. Again, it's not a threat. It's just, for some reason, that's how you process this pain that's private to you. It doesn't seem to go external. Your external is completely different. That's Gemini, isn't it? I want you to continue to try to receive those little pieces. You'll make progress in that Five of Cups before you know it. Try to be open towards them. Try not to close it off. Or be like, oh, that's just a coincidence. It's not. It's not. Those little pieces add up, I promise. Justice is in your hopes and fears. Will you ever feel correct about something? Will you ever feel balanced about something? You hope for it, you fear for it. And that's what happens when you put yourself into a star. There's larger things at play about, did I choose well? Did I choose well, and does it choose me back? I balance with it. Does it balance with me? Spiritually, technically, legally. So far, it looks like, yeah, I think you made good choices here. You seem to be very devoted to your sense of pathway and your overall sense of positivity and display. Okay. I believe you try to treat other people with dignity and respect so you can receive it in return. And overall, you have a general concern with, did I make good life choices overall? And I think the answer is yes, but you ought to know. Look at that. Look at that. If you feel good and correct, seen and visible, then you're doing something right. Okay? You're doing something right. All right? You seem to be very concerned about fairness and justice. And so do yourself a favor. Apply that same sense of fairness and justice to you too. There's something here that wants to complete a picture for you. And you give it very little time and attention. All I know is that it will help you work through that Five of Cups if you give it a little bit more space to be recognized. Those influences and those things that just happen to keep coming up over and over again. I don't know what's up with that. It will help with this. Other than that, I would say you're very well-to-do, balanced Gemini who's really devoted themselves to a very large life goal. And you are constantly preoccupied with this state of fairness. I think you're doing very well for yourself. Not necessarily financially, you could be. And if that's true, congratulations to you. I mean that overall sense of life purpose, which is clearly important for the Gemini I'm looking at. Okay? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. Oh, Eight of Swords, the Hermit, the Knight of Wands. There you go. Any sense of procrastination, putting things off, mental resistance, you have a tendency to heal that, and that's when you work through things. Okay, very good. Again, I want you to apply that same sense of logic to your spiritual self. Okay, because you deserve it too. There's something here in you that wants to be resolved. And I can tell you put a lot of importance on resolving things in your external world. It's very important to you to maintain not just your goals, but sense of balance. I get that. That's such a strong impression for you. So you need to do that for yourself as well. Okay, clear up that blindness. Heal what you need to heal. Your energy will remain the same, if not better. Okay? I want you to feel good about you. You have the experience and the skills here to look at this. Something we've been putting off and putting off and putting off with that Eight of Swords. You can handle it. You can handle it. The Hermit's so much larger than that self-imposed blindness. All right? Trust your skills in yourself. B, Q. Q keeps coming up, guys, and I'm telling you what, I stir these medallions. I tell you what, I stir them, and Q keeps coming out. We have the medallion of Pisces. You might have some very strong Pisces in your chart. Could be connecting to one. That's not really the point today, but just FYI. We also have the great white shark in the upright Scorpio energy, but also the need to pursue, hopefully not for survival, but that sense of pursue, right? We have the arrow here of Sag, point striking home, and then also, of course, Cupid's arrow, and then we have the dragon, Aries, Leo, Sag, and then also that sense of empowerment, fire-breathing, though, element. So differentiate between empowerment and being kind of like a chokehold of energy. I guess is the best way to put it. Oh yes, let's pull some of these before we take our leave. Message number 7. This is the detailed message. In other words, a letter, something that has the full or bears the full weight of your thoughts. Okay. A little bit more detailed. Love union, 24, swan, supportive energy, 2 of cups. That sense of we are equals. Okay, you and I are on the same page. Expressing for some of you our sincere thoughts and emotionalities as it regards a particular love union. Someone who bears or will bear the full weight of your thoughts, specifically your feelings. Okay, number 24. With a little bit of luck here to get that way through the maze. Now, when I see external mazes, that drives me crazy. And it's like, if that situation or person really wanted you to find them, they wouldn't be in a maze. And they wouldn't have you wandering around like an asshole. For some of you, you're like, there's a subject here for which I'm confused, and I need a little bit of luck. Guess what that is? It's taken a long time. But every now and again, we get a little luck in there, and we make a little bit more advancement. There's something here we want to see more clearly. 2 and 43. Okay. All right, Gemini, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, Welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Libra, please. What's going on for Libra? One more. Let's see Libra, please. Queen of Wands, crossing, Page of Wands. Okay, Two of Wands. Yeah, the past Knight of Pentacles, still with you to this day. Good. Nine of Pentacles on the exit. Interesting. Ace of Swords before you. Okay. Okay. I don't know who that is to you, but you seem to be doing fine. All right. Strengths, Five of Wands. Oh boy. The environment, the Sun. Queen of Cups and the hopes and fears. Outcome, Eight of Wands. So Queen of Wands opening right away with that vibrancy. Like a fresh flower, right? Or at least that's what you're trying to show. It's hard. Crossing Page of Wands. You're saying you're trying to be open, but you want to feel good. Okay, at the end of the day, you're showing me my energy's for me, and I need to feel good for me. However, I'm still a little hesitant about opening up. I'm trying. That's okay. I really want to understand the Queen of Wands, guys, isn't just about looking good and feeling good. You understand that that's for you first. Just because you're showing me King, Queen of Wands doesn't necessarily mean you have to be open to external influence, okay? For some reason, you're showing me that you're struggling with it. How come I can feel good, but I'm not necessarily open? That doesn't mean that they're related, okay? I want you to feel good. If that's where you are in this moment, relax with it. It's yours. You don't have to share it. You really don't have to share it. You can be someone who is naturally open and ambitious and passionate, but you're not necessarily, open to receiving external influence. You're not, and that's okay. That's fine. Two of Wands is crowning you. There's no sense of pressure in you. It's kind of like right now I'm in a space in my life where I just kind of like looking out in the world and making decisions that are good for me. Good. Again, there's a little bit of curiosity. There's a little bit of openness, but your energy is for you first and foremost. If you're just like, I'm just trying to open a new sensation and feel good about myself, and I just want to preview the world, not necessarily engage in it. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's where you are. Is that where you're always going to be? No, but I can see that you're a Libra, you're feeling a certain way, and you want to take your time with it. In fact, you have experience with that. Knight of Pentacles in your past. That doesn't mean it's over. That means if this energy was available to you in the past, it can still be in the present, and it is. You're saying, sometimes I just don't want to be rushed. I can be forward and ambitious and passionate, but I don't want to be rushed either. And I think that's exactly where you are. There's something here that says you value taking your time when it feels good to you. And if that's where you are, then that's where you are. You don't owe anybody an explanation. And just because you're looking fine or you feeling good doesn't mean you have to be open to others. It's a common misconception. I actually think I know exactly where you are. There's that sense of, I'm feeling good about me and that's enough. Why can't that be enough? It is enough. And if anybody questions that, well, maybe let's not connect to them so much. That tells me they've never been in that position before. I just want to feel good about me. That doesn't mean I'm trying to share it or be open. You don't have to be. Hey, Libra, you seem like you're in a good mood. Would you be interested in learning about rock climbing? I am in a good mood. This is correct. That doesn't mean, however, I'm trying to learn how to rock climb right now. Thank you. But why? You just said you were open to it. No. I said I'm feeling good. I didn't say I was open to rock climbing. Thank you. I appreciate that. No. You see how simple that is? I don't know. It's good positive. Think of good positive energy like this as like cash. As soon as somebody understands that you have a surplus or an excess of cash, why aren't you spending it? I have so many suggestions for you. I'm sure you do. Yeah. But it's really my opinion that matters at the end of the day in regards to my money or my energy. Time, energy, and effort. You see what I'm saying? It's like people always have so many ideas of how you should be spending your energy or your money. It's like, how is that your business? But thank you for the suggestion. So that's kind of, does that make sense? Because that's where you are, and I like where you are. Now, what's interesting to me is the Nine of Pentacles is on the exit, and it's not you. I don't know who that is. I just know it's not you. it is a physical person. They have identity, they have characteristics. This is someone who tends to stand up and do right on their own, someone who is experienced, someone who knows how to shore up their own sense of, well, frankly, can do and experience. They know how to secure themselves, but for some reason their energy is drifting from you. I don't know if it's a long-term drift, if it's a temporary drift, I don't know. But their presence isn't there. It's not physically there. It's exiting. And it's almost like in this person's absence, you feel good and you want to do your own thing. You don't want to be rushed. You don't want to be influenced. You just want to keep your energy to yourself and do your own thing. I don't know that this person is negative or positive in nature. You can be a Nine of Pentacles and be negative or positive. I just know that with their waning influence, okay? And again, I don't know if it's long-term or part-time or temporary. I have no idea. You would know. But without this person's constant right there influence, you seem to be relaxed. Ace of Swords before you in future. You know, you're going to have some really strong insights, thoughts, ideas, and the ability to act upon them for yourself. It's a singular thought. Again, without whatever this influence is, you kind of feel a lot more relaxed to just, I'm going to do my own thing. And whatever occurs to me, that's what I'm going to go with. Okay? I'm going to do what I think is best. I'm going to act on that. And that's my truth. And I'm sticking to it. So you're showing me independence of will, much like this person has their own form of it. But again, without them being right there next to you, you're like, I'm gonna do me for a while. I'm gonna do me for a while. And just do what I think and what I feel. And not necessarily be open to other suggestions. You're like, I've kind of had enough of that. I don't know. It's almost like you're saying if this person was here, you wouldn't be in that position. Okay? Over here, Five of Wands. Well, in your strengths, you're saying you can argue with the best of them. Now, that sometimes is a strength. You have to know when to fight. Absolutely. We can't all be passive. You know, you really can't. Sometimes you have to know when, where, and how to stand up for yourself. That's absolutely true. But like all things in tarot, they can run into a positive space and as well as a negative space. So knowing when to back off a fight is also equally important. Knowing when to back down and wave a white flag, this is also important. Knowing when to stay in the fight and to keep that red flag up, you know, that's also true. So I understand and I admire the fact that you're a little fighter. You say you can hold your own in an argument. I'm sure. But we don't always want to live in that constant state of argument. All right? So it's a strength, but just make sure that that strength is only used as indeed a strength. It's not a way of life. Remember that. Okay? Otherwise you exhaust yourself and then you make enemies out of everybody. You don't always want to be fighting. Sometimes indeed it is enough just to be like, I don't need the influence. I just need me. Yes, correct. So I don't know if this represents a little tiff you had with this person. They're like, I'm going to go over here for a while. You know, you want your space so bad? Here you go. I don't know. Maybe you're like, I need my space and I don't want your influence right now. You're good on your own, so you go that way. I don't know. Maybe you fought for more autonomy, a stronger sense of self. Okay. But I know that overall, if you want to fight, you will. But it looks productive because, oh boy, don't you look happy? The sun's in your environment. It's yay. I can feel the sun on my face without your influence, like a really weird obelisk. Now, again, I don't know if this is negative or positive. It just seems like since they've exited, you're like, if I want to get up at 10 in the morning, I will. If I want to eat in bed, I will. If I want to go to work today, I will. You know, if I want to do this thing at 3 o'clock on a Thursday, I will. Any outside influence right now? No? Good, because that's what I was fighting for. Thank you. So it's kind of like that. You're really enjoying your space. You're filling out the space, and you're making space for yourself. You might have had to fight for that space. I don't know. But you feel a lot more relaxed without someone right there next to you. Okay, whatever that is. I have no idea. It doesn't have to be romantic, guys. It's anyone who fits the criteria. But yeah, a lot happier, at least for now. The sun isn't always a long-term construct. It can be this is how I feel today. And that's why I often compare it to the star. A star has a much longer stronger foothold. The sun, you know, happiness is a choice. Many would argue that. So would I. People don't like it when I say that, but it's also the truth. So, Queen of Cups in your hopes and fears. Now, that's a little bit more indicative to a deeper issue. Queen of Cups, you know, that's a big feeler right there. You kind of hope for those big feelings, and you kind of fear them too. Why? Because right now you're showing me, I could give up. I'm good. The deeper issue, though. This state of independence, this new sense of freedom and happiness, is this a long-term thing for you? Do you want it to be? Or are you fearful of that? Because your heart seems to be on the line in this. Do I love myself to keep this a full-time thing? Or is this just a temporary moment? Should I be afraid for that? Or should I hope for it? That's something you have to work out. Hopes and fears is not an outcome. It's not a solution. It's not anything. It's simply a reflection of who we are. It's a mirror. So, the outcome is 8 of Wands. You'll be talking. You'll be talking. What you'll be talking about? Well, mostly what I think we're experiencing. You know, I've had time to think about this and blah, blah, blah. Let's get some advice. All I got for you is you talking. And the outcome. I wonder what you're going to say. You know, I think we should spend less time together. You know, I don't know. Or, you know, I've had time on my own now and it feels good, but I think we can resolve our differences. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's get some advice here. Let's get some advice. Let's get some advice. I do like how you made space for yourself. We have the Three of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Oh. Intuitively, you both hope for a new beginning and you fear it too. It's kind of reflecting back on that hopes and fears. They're rather substantial. Part of you intuitively feels the prospect of new for yourself. Part of you is also fearful that a new opportunity will be rejected by you, or you're frankly, Three of Swords is not an accusation, guys, but some of you are frankly very fearful of a new opportunity as much as you feel like it's also before you. That's something you're going to have to sort through. Our intuition can be very powerful, but if there's enough fear there, we won't hear ourselves. So you have to take a look at that Ace of Pentacles, which shows up as reality. Is that reality right for you then? Okay. Is this new beginning? Is this something I can take on because I feel like I could do, but I'm also afraid to? Yeah, that's hopes and fears, all right. My 2 cents. It seems a new beginning would be good for some of you. But you don't quite know that just yet. Okay? You don't quite know that just yet. Not have to be under the yoke of whatever this is. And I don't know that it's a bad person. It's just, it's kind of like in their absence, you feel what they feel. You know, a state of independence, this is me. That's what I can do. And I don't have to consult anybody. And it feels good. It feels good to stretch out. You know, I'm not on the left or right side of the bed. I'm right there in the middle, and I can stretch out as much as I want for as long as I want. And that's if it's a kind of a partnership type situation. That's what a lot of people take it back to. So I use that comparison often. But, you know, as it resonates, guys, message of concern. No, there's the messages, number 14. About one's wishes. And here we have the mirroring effect once more, hopes and fears, 1441. They reflect on each other. Yeah, you're showing me the hopes and fears for you. Should you hope for this, and does that make you wrong? Should you hope for this? Would it make you right? And there it is. Once more, messages, birds, little messages. 12, I just know that there's will be some communication here, and it's going to be a reflection of both what we desire and have a hard time understanding it's our desire simultaneously. In other words, you need to work through it like everybody does. But I would like to point out once more how strong your characteristics were in the absence of this person. So, something to think about. It says a lot, doesn't it? We have the letter T and the medallion of Cancer in the reverse, the key word here being imaginative. Oh, just imagine. Imagine. Okay, Libra honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments, take care, be well. Taurus, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on? Show me, Taurus, please. Show me, Taurus. Ace of Swords, crossing, Five of Wands, I see. Crowning you, Four of Pentacles, but you don't know how to let it go. The Emperor's in the past, which means it's still with you to today. Okay. Exiting, King of Cups, honey. Before you, the world. Okay. 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 So I already say, you got to know it's worth being stubborn for. I got a situation here that looks like it's not worth it. And that's coming from me. Okay. But that's up to you. Strengths, Knight of Cups, environment, Two of Wands, and hopes and fears, Two of Swords, outcome, Eight of Cups, you know. There's so much more to you than this fight. And I really want to tell you, this too shall pass, and it will, but I really want you to learn how to let it go, which I know is easier said than done, but you're like, I'm not contributing to the fight. I'm not. Yes, you are. Okay. I'm not trying to be mean to you. Eight of Swords, self-imposed blindness here. You literally do not see how you're contributing to this argument by holding on to it. So it's something I say all the time, you get to choose your level of participation. You ignoring this, but holding on to it is still a form of participation. Okay? And Eight of Swords is in your opening, and I hate seeing that for you, you know? Because if you really don't want to see something, you won't. But it's still causing conflict, so the more we try to deny it, the conflict doesn't abate. It's still there. You might have temporarily fended it off. You might have temporarily put the fight off. And you might think that you're not participating. But by you doing this, you are indeed participating. It's just adding to the frustrations. You'll note that if you take that blindfold off, you'll realize that fight hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. And the Four of Pentacles is crowning you. So I know you know. It's very specific. I know you know what the situation is. And you're like, I'm not participating, I'm not adding to the argument. But you're also not doing anything to take it away or make it better. You're holding out for a particular point. You're saying my presence is noted, but I'm not participating. I'm holding on to this, but I'm not participating. Which gets you where with this? Acknowledge you're holding on to it. And acknowledging that, yeah, well, you may not be actively participating. You may not be actively raising your voice. You may not be actively using harsh words. But you're also not making your point clear to yourself or anyone else. Okay. It's like saying, I'm showing up, but I'm not taking any of the credit. See? I'm not making things worse. I'm holding on to it. It's got to mean something. No. No. Because every time you turn around with this situation, you're going to get the same results. It's still more tension that's unresolved, more anger. Now, the Emperor is in your past, so that's a direct contradiction of what I'm saying here today. The Emperor in your past suggests that this doesn't mean that it's over. It means you have experience in that, skills. You can be empowered and take charge of the situation. I know you can. You have experience with this. Leading the way, finding a way, standing firm, making yourself fully known, making yourself a full presence or force to be reckoned with. You're saying, this is what I stand for. This is what I don't stand for. Saying, this is what's up with me. What's going on here? I will resolve this conflict. And I will be an active participant in resolving this conflict. I won't just hold on to it for the sake of it. I will speak my voice, and this is what I have to say. These are my needs or my demands or whatever. Okay. Now, I'm concerned here because the King of Cups is on the exit. I saw this for someone else. I don't remember who. That's always kind of a big deal. Someone's emotional presence, yours or someone else, is out. And that's a big deal. The King of Cups is there. That's the fullness of someone's heart is not available. Again, it's either you or the situation for which you're connected to, where there's no heart in this. That's positive, I should say. Emotionally nurturing, supportive, or loving. That's a problem. I don't know if it's you, in which case you have no reason to hold on to this any longer, never mind deny its existence, or them, and it would still be the same. The world is before you. Whichever this is cycling. And you ignoring it isn't going to make it any better. It's better to stand up and face it for what it is. It's like, you know what? Your emotions are out. Fine. So be it. My emotions are out. It's time I acknowledged it. That's why I'm holding on to this, but I'm not fully acknowledging it. I see that now. I'm out. Whatever it is. But I 100% agree with that. No change plus no change equals no change stores. Okay. Your strengths, Knight of Cups. You have a softer heart. I know you do. It's hard for you. Especially when it looks like you literally have no room for your emotionality. Like your emotions aren't welcome. Somebody else's aren't welcome. Okay. You have a softer heart, and I bet you hate it. You have a softer flow attached to you, vulnerability, and this is a non-vulnerable situation. I got it. That sucks. There is no room for vulnerability in here. All the more reason. Stop. Just let it go. Like, you know what? Your heart doesn't want to be here. I say it, I acknowledge it. That's my bad. You do you. You know what? My heart doesn't want to be here anymore. I still have one. But it's being rejected. There's no space for me. There's no space for me to express myself or be vulnerable with you or the situation. It's impossible. I see that. Me hanging out this long and acting like it was no big deal, or I wouldn't acknowledge it, that's my bad. I'm out. Okay? And that may not be what you feel, but it will catch up to you later. I see it. Two of Wands is in your environment. There's a sense of waiting in here. Waiting, trying to make a decision, trying to see things clearly. I gave you that respect, okay? You are trying to make things clear. Unlike the other twos, Two of Wands actually says, I am trying to be present, okay? The Two of Swords, though. Hopes and fears. You hope to see this in its fullness, but you also fear to see it in its fullness. Hopes and fears is not a guarantee of anything. It's not an outcome. It's not a decision. It is simply our mirrored selves back at us, you know? It represents duality of human nature. If you hope for this, then simultaneously you will fear it. Some of you hope to see this and lay it out for what it is and finally acknowledge it and give yourself that peace. This is how it really is. Others of you are terrified of it. It's a little bit of both. Okay? Ace of Cups is in the outcome. Whatever, I want you to continue to have a beautiful heart, honey. I want you to continue to be a vulnerable person. But for whatever this is, it requires emotional detachment from it because it doesn't seem to be present with you. And you not wanting to see that is not helping you at all. You know, you refusing to see that doesn't keep it any closer to you. In fact, it creates the divide more and more. So give yourself the peace that they're not giving you. Acknowledge this. Okay? I promise you, you will detach from this. And I'm sorry that you're undergoing this, and that's if you identify with it. If. Don't ever take a reading that's not yours, because you just cause yourself problems. And this one's either very much a case of yours or not yours. That's it. I acknowledge the difficulty of this. But honey, you don't want to stay where you're not wanted. Heart, actions, behaviors, your thoughts, whatever they are, if they're not welcome, don't keep wearing the members only jacket. You look like an asshole. Nobody wants that. You don't want to feel like one either. Okay? You know? I don't want to see this for you. Especially when I know that you know better. With the Emperor, too. Running around in the background. Trying to remember, hey, Taurus, is this who we are? Is this who we are? We're hanging out hoping we'll get remembered or had our feelings considered? Is this what we do? That's not what I remember doing in the past. Yeah, that's right. There's a past version of you that would have taken charge of this. Or at least stand and made yourself known. And I want you to remember that, Taurus. Even if it's walking away from this. Ace of Pentacles. Your master symbol, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. You know. Yeah, you got the finger now. You know you're worth so much more than this. You know this. You know this. How long has it been since you invested in yourself? Like, seriously, gave yourself the brand new opportunity for which You are clearly, I don't use this word lightly, entitled to. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Baby, you got a new opportunity sitting around you, on you. I don't know what. But there you are. You should know what your worth is. No, you invest in you. It's the best investment you'll ever make, especially when you understand parts of you or the whole part of you aren't welcome. And I don't know what this is. It could be a work thing. It could be a family thing. It could be a spouse thing. I don't know. But I do know this. Your advice is crystal clear. You need to reinvest in yourself. You've done it before. You can do it again. You know what your worth is. And your worth here is a new opportunity, one that's real. You make them for yourselves. You've done it before. Because you know at the end of the day what your worth is. And the Taurus I'm looking at, you're worth so much more than the parts of you or the whole part of you that's being rejected, categorically rejected. It ain't worth holding on to, honey. It doesn't even have the pretense of holding on back to you. You're worth so much more than that, and I need you to see it. Okay. Message of concern, number 14. There's the apprehension, how to interpret this. How concerned should I be? Oh. Journey, compass, key to the cage. I can see that you're concerned about this, and you've been probably trying to process it and try to read into what's there and what isn't there and try to ignore the letter and responding to it, whatever that is to you, metaphorically speaking. And oh my goodness, honey. You're worth the journey due north. But you have to understand you have the key to your own cage there. You set yourself free in this context. You don't need anyone's permission. It looks like you've been let go, whatever this is. Again, don't be the person stuck wearing a members-only jacket when the members have disbanded. 42-10-33. You have a whole new journey ahead of you. But you have to understand here. You might feel like a prisoner, but you're also the warden. Okay. Don't stay where you're not welcome. That should never be the case, and no one should ever be made to feel like that. Then you reject yourself too by acting like you don't know what's going on. Yeah, you do. Other people might reject you. Don't ever reject yourself. It's not worth the damage. Okay. Please. Oh, so many. Okay. Lots of medallions here today. We have just Aquarius, keyword being friendly. Sag, the keyword being optimist. Double Sag. Some of you might have some very strong Sag in your chart. Could be connecting to one. We also have the medallion of Capricorn. We also have the medallion of Virgo, heavy earth here today. You could have any of these components in your chart as well as being connected to one in the situation. Oh, that's the soft side right there. I know it hurts. The wilted tulip. It's not been nurtured very well. Otherwise, it wouldn't have wilted. Yeah. I know someone's let you down intimately, romantically, or just lack of growth there. When you, honey, are designed for a beautiful garden, you know? So go get your beautiful garden. Why are you hanging out in this? Okay. Time to get new nutrients in that soil, yes? So you can thrive. We have the small dog medallion. Some of you have a very small dog that you're fond of. Yorkie, Terrier, Chihuahua, this kind of thing. And then we have the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I know, always on the busy, always on the go, and that's one of the things that's kept you distracted. Distraction works for so long. Okay, Taurus, honey, I do hope to help you at the end of the day. I don't know that I'll necessarily see a follow-up of this, but of course we'll check up on you again on Sunday and then next week. I do hope it helped you. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Virgo? Show me Virgo, please. What's going on for Virgo? One more. The Eight of Swords. Justice. Knight of Pentacles is crowning you. Okay, something's moving here very slowly. Six of Wands is in the past. Exiting is the Nine of Wands. Before you, the Sun. Strength, the Ace of Wands. Excuse me. Home environment, or environment in the general sense, the world. Yeah. Page of Pentacles, hopes and fears. The Three of Wands and the outcome. Don't rush things. I know. You spent time, and perhaps too much time, and I don't mean it as an accusation, but perhaps spent too much time wondering about the right thing is. And I think you know, or you have known all along. So Eight of Swords is overanalyzing here. We were caught in our head about the principles of justice, and we can't see it. Or your mind tried to tell you repeatedly 1,000 times over, something's not fair, something's not fair. I want it done correctly. I don't know what that means. What is even fair anyway? And then you would start back to square one all over again. And that Knights of Pentacles is crowning you. This took a long time. Did you make progress? Absolutely. Was it slow? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And your mind tried to do the shutdown game for a long time. I don't want to think about this. Every time I ask a question, I don't seem to get a straightforward answer. And part of that was your mind overanalyzing this concept of what is fairness. Now, justice is a large-scale concept of it. It's spiritual fairness, legal fairness, technical fairness, all of them. Six of Pentacles is mechanical. You can see it, interact with it. But justice has additional layers of spiritual correctness, karma, all that stuff. And you spend a lot of time overthinking these things. What's fair for me? What's fair for the situation? How do I balance it? What does it even mean? Is that bias? Is that my point of view? Is that their point of view? Am I being fair? Wait, are they being fair to me? Is this situation being fair to me? But a lot of that was Eight of Swords. You could have stopped doing that at any time and said, a spade is a spade. This is what's fair, and this is what isn't. I think you knew what constitutes fairness, however that applies to you, a long time ago. But you kept adding thoughts to it that had nothing to do with the context or the answer. Why? I don't know. But that was your particular path. You eventually find an answer to this ultimate question that the Virgo I'm looking at is suffering from in regards to fairness, spiritually, technically, or legally. It's here. Six of Wands is in your past. You used to take these things for granted. You always thought you knew, right? I know what's up. I would never ever question what is fair. I would know what's fair. Not even a second guess of it. So Six of Wands in this respect is coming across as prideful. You know, there's nothing I can't handle. I know what fair is. You have experience with that. I know you miss it. I know you miss that confidence, right? Maybe a little bit of an ego side. I know what fair is. I wouldn't even hesitate. And look, your speed of movement changed a lot from the past to where it has been. You can have confidence once more. If you experienced it in the past, that means you still can. Okay? But for some reason, you had a major alteration for a long period of time about the ease around this idea of fairness. You always knew, or you always kind of took it for granted that you would know. Apparently, you got challenged on that. Oh, you think you know what's up? You think you know what karma is? You think you know what fair is? And balances and dues? So I can see why it took a long time, because from the past, you went from a space of knowing, and I'm not breaking the sweat, to I see fairness very differently now. For myself and for others, I always thought I knew. I always kind of took it for granted. Not so much these days. What's exiting for you is a good thing, a Nine of Wands. How you always used to do things, how you always used to view things, how you would always approach things. You're just like, that's no more. Nine of Wands. The resistance, the ability to put up a blockage when and where and how you needed to fight for your side of things. The sense of frustration, right? Trying repeatedly to attack this thing over and over again like you used to, because it used to work for you in the past, doesn't work anymore. So your resistance to the subject has gone way down, which is good. Okay? So that's good. Your walls here and your shifting form of justice have changed. And with it, that old need to fight and put up a barrier. I know. I'm going to treat everything the same, just like this. No. Some things are different, particularly as our points of view as human beings, we grow and expand, and so too they change. And then, therefore, our sense of fairness changes too. And that can be hard for earth signs, is to adopt new modalities around anything on a larger scale. particularly in that sense of what is fair. Before in the future, you may not believe it, but it's happiness. This is nice. And be touched by the sun again, warmth, and get out of your head. There is resolve here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be showing me relief. More than relief. Much more than a sense of, well, I'm pretty sure this is how I do this. In fact, I don't need to question it, and you shouldn't either. This is like, oh, happier days. Whatever it is that you are finding so hard to be difficult around this idea of fairness is going to ease up, which tells me you readjusted, or rather what I would tell, say, Libra, is recalibrated your scales, which is their constant application in this life. So you might have some very strong Libra in your chart. That aside, I think you found a way to recalibrate your scales, and you found a new measuring criteria for you, and it's called happiness. Can I honestly say, this makes me happy, versus just kind of assuming that I'm right? I don't know why the heck you put yourself through such a strong ringer, but it took you a long time to recalibrate this sense of fairness. And you include yourself in that, honey. You're part of the fairness process, whatever that is. Perhaps some of you are used to overcalculating for other people or situations, and you don't speak up much for yourself. That's a form of injustice. Perhaps you didn't know how to advocate very well for yourself, and that it was better to give than to receive. That's another form of having to recalibrate your scales. Perhaps some of you always argued against someone else's point of view, but now you see how it directly affects your life. That's recalibrating the scales. I would never do X, Y, Z until you experienced it yourself, and now your scales have been recalibrated. Do you see how it could apply to you? I don't mean it to be vague, but it's really hard without a background noise about where you're coming from that made you so heavily rethink everything it is you thought you knew about fairness. You did something right, because you're showing me the sun. And let's go beyond that. We'll kick it up a notch. You're showing me the Ace of Wands and your strengths. You believe in brand new beginnings now for yourself. And that you should have energy for you that's positive and hopeful. Maybe even a little bit passionate. Oh, dear God. Oh. Say it ain't so, Christina. Well, I do. Apparently you do too. It's like, I believe in new beginnings for me. That was part of recalibrating your scales. I believe I can measure against my own happiness. That was part of recalibrating your scales. Now that you've been through what you've been through, it's not just about justice or karma for the situation, but for you too. Remember, you were part of this. That was the whole question here. Yeah. Raised an eyebrow. The world here, in your home and or environment, yeah, your world, okay, is literally the world. Something's closing. And all I can tell you about that is as one door closes, another opens. And you seem to know that that's fair now. Hopes and fears, Page of Pentacles. That's what I would call sane, normal, rational. To start over. It's a scary prospect, but it's so minuscule. It's so minuscule. I'm actually not too worried about it. You're saying whatever fears I have, Christina, are reasonable, as I just told you. You know, to plant a new seed, to go into a different direction, to give a new investment, no matter how small, you got to start somewhere, right? The hope to do that and the fear to do it, it's one and the same. That's why it's hopes and fears, and it's non-conclusive. It's not a conclusion. It's simply a mirror reflection of who we are. That's all. So, baby, if that's all that's stressing you, that ain't bad. So I'm not worried about it if you're not. Three of Wands is not waiting in this respect in the outcome. It's looking forward to the new horizon, which you seem to be marked with. Is that what this is all about? Were you allowed to have a new beginning and be happy about it? Oh, it might have been. I don't mean to make light of it, but that literally could be what I'm saying here today. Recalibrating the old skills there is no easy thing, especially if you came from this background noise that says, I know what's up and I'll never change my mind. I'll always know what's right for me. I'll never question it. Thank you. And I don't know what happened to change your mind. But it took a long time to sort it out. One door's closing, but you're not focused on that. You're focused on the opening of another one, and you look forward to it in due course. Okay. Yeah. Virgo, I'm looking at, you are allowed a new beginning here. And I'm sorry you had to put yourself through so much hell before you allowed yourself to see it and believe it. But you got there. You know, you got there. And I suppose at the end of the day, that's all that really counts, eh? All right. Let's get some advice, please, for Virgo. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. The Lovers, Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands. What you doing? Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Actually, I can't tell you without you having told me, so you actually already know. You know what? Sometimes I feel like, legitimately, I feel like Willy Wonka. And I mean the good. I'm sorry, I'm biased. Gene Wilder. Okay? We're talking the 70s version. Sometimes I just feel like him. I'm just presenting things with flair. There is no world I know that compares to pure imagination. Wow, yeah, Ace of Wands, but this isn't imagination, is it? No, no, no. Nay, nay. No, no, no. That's not imagination, darling. Yeah, you are entitled to a new beginning. As one door closes, another opens. What's fair? What is fair? I'm glad you figured out your fair. It seems to suit you. Ace of Wands, the Lovers. When you open up to that strength, the timing will be right via communication, and something begins very strongly with a very strong connection with the Lovers. I don't see you being in a rush. You seem to have this idea of, I look forward to it. So whatever that is, you look forward to it in great detail. At least in communication. But it's enough to send up the old flare gun, you know what I'm saying? Just... It's so lucky we're not doing intimate tarot today. I'd be calling you out so hard right now, Virgo. Although some of you, Virgo is not your dominant. Okay. Yeah. Kicking suit. Yeah, no, I'm biased, and I'll tell you why. I'm sorry for those of you just like, you want me to finish my thought on that, my particular diatribe about why that particular Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, however you want to do it, why that particular story with Gene Wilder is my favorite. I'll tell you why. Because he's actually appropriately depicted. He's not some mad scientist. He is generally optimistic and hopeful. But he has a twist to him. He has a twist to him. He's not dark and decrepit with this horrible backstory. No, he generally is a good guy, optimistic, but he also don't take no shit. And he does it with flair and a fantastic purple suit. That's why. That's why. Oh, Gene Wilder, bless him. May he rest in peace. He gave many people joy. Do you have any idea how many times I've seen Young Frankenstein? Seriously. Okay. The staircase, decision. Time to own the decision. Left, right. What's fair, what's not fair, what's correct. Crossroads, however you want to put it. It's been done several times, several ways. Number 22. The high honor. It's a high honor here. To open up towards this, you've earned it. Distinguishing colors. You've done your time on the battlefield. Number 25. You worked your way through this. You came out the other side, understanding what's correct for you. What's due. Okay? You won the war. It's a high honor. All right? A bit of luck doesn't hurt anyone either. Yeah. The clover. Yeah, the four-leaf clover, of course. And the home. There's that home space. I know. I know. Something in your environment is shifting and changing. I saw that. And your home's important to you. Of course it is. But you're saying it's for that reason that I'm choosing a new beginning. Okay? I believe. We have the letter N. We have the busy bee. Oh, I'm sorry, you're very busy, honey. No doubt. You're not just here thinking about all this all day, every day, but it's with your spirit, okay? We have the arrow striking home, Sagittarius arrow, Cupid's arrow, however you want to do it, or also making a very critical point. Then we have the lotus flower. For some of you, the lotus is confirmation, and then it's also just the representation of a beautiful unfolding, but it takes time, but worth it. And then we also have the medallion of Taurus, upside down, the key word here being the incentivizer. Yeah, I would say you have a pretty damn strong incentive right there, and some of you some Taurus in your chart, or you could be connected to one. Okay, all right, Virgo honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Capricorn? Show me Capricorn, please. Show me Capricorn. One more. Let's see Capricorn, please. Ace of Wands, crossed by the Two of Wands. That's all right then. Ace of Cups. Yeah, Three Cups in the past, exiting Eight of Swords. The Priestess. You're saying, I know what I know. I like it. I like it. It's a bit cheeky, but I like it. Ten of Cups is your strengths. Very good. Two of Cups is in your environment. Yes. Ten of Swords, hopes and fears. And the Hanged Man. We need to let this rest a little bit before we have further information. And that's the great way to end this in terms of outcome. In other words, there's yet to be seen, but it's developing, and that's beautiful. You straight away a couple aces for you, so that's not bad. Yeah, it's looking like we're going to be connecting to the new in terms of passion, inspiration, hope, as well as from the heart. One you seem to be very aware of, but you don't know how much it's calling you. So the Ace of Cups is actually on your mind, and in your heart specifically. You seem to know that feeling. The Ace of Wands, though, with the Two of Wands crossing it, you're like, I have a feeling. I have a feeling something's coming up. It's just not immediately in front of me. It's not like I'm waiting, which is good. Two of Wands on the sideways. So it's like, I'm not waiting. I just feel like something's coming through. And you're absolutely right. Something is coming through. Now, I don't know if it's going to just fall in your lap or if one day you just run into this, but you're actually quite ready. You're ready for something new, possibly renew. I don't know. Three of Cups is in your past orientation, so it's always possible. But the idea is that you're open towards it and that you're ready. That's what I'm looking at today. That's the emphasis here. So again, I like how you're like, I'm not waiting. And I know I'm open. I feel like something's coming. Something's coming through. It's almost here, and I think you're absolutely right, like I said. There's a difference between active waiting and decision-making, and I'm not trying to make any decisions. I'm not trying to wait. I feel like it's coming through. It's here. It's time. Yeah. Three of Cups is in your past. By the way, past does not mean it's over. It means it's a carryover element. So if you experience something in the past, that means you could experience it again in present day as well as in the future. So Three of Cups, you know what it is to emotionally connect, to be sociable, to put yourself out there for either romantic reasons or otherwise. Just to emotionally open up and, connect with people. That's it. You know what that's like. You also know what it's like to reconnect with somebody over and over again for those same reasons. You're saying you're familiar with it and that you don't dismiss it. You don't dismiss it. You're open to that too. It doesn't bother you. You just have this feeling that the time is right for some sort of connectivity. Eight of Swords is on its way out. That sense of procrastination, or I can't see it, or I'm not convinced, or I'm going to shut it down. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to look at this yet. All that crap, whatever the Eight of Swords is, the apprehension, I'm not ready to mentally deal with this. That's on its way out. Yes, you are. You are just water, and I'm living now and in the moment, and I'm not trying to wait. I'm just trying to feel things out. Because before you in future is the High Priestess. Again, you have this feeling. Something's right around the corner. I know it's there. And it's either coming in as new or a refresh on a connection. You're like, I don't know, but I'm open towards it. You're showing me non-discriminating elements. You're just open. It's so beautiful. And intuitively, I'm just trying to put my feelers out there. I'm feeling my way around this. It's no big deal. You're like, I don't have anything to overthink. I don't have anything to overprocess. I'm not trying to shut things down by overthinking it. You're like, I'm just trying to be up in my feels right now. And I love that. So there's not, like I said, there's non-discriminating principles in here. Eight of Swords on the exit, which is beautiful. I'm not trying to overthink. I'm not trying to overprocess it. I'm not trying to procrastinate, deny it, or put it off. I just know what I feel is here. You're right. So that's cool. Whatever that is, it's going to present itself soon. That's all I can tell you. Or you'll connect with it soon. You'll just know. You will just know. Okay? Now, you are a Capricorn who might have a great deal of water in your chart. You let me know as you see fit. But water, water, water. Ten of Cups is in your strengths, and I love that. I love seeing that for people. I don't get to see that so often these days, which is unfortunate. But Ten of Cups for you, for the Capricorn I'm looking at, gives you strength. So the people who are in your life, you see them and take them seriously as emotional support systems. You're like, I'm not who I am without these folks in my life, whoever they are to you. Family, friends, kids, spouses, aunties, cousins, whatever. Your BFFs, whatever. Whoever's in your Ten of Cups. It could be one person, it could be multiple. That's not the point. It gives you strength, knowing that you're part of something larger, knowing that you have the support and care and concern of others, and that you can give it back to them. And that's a beautiful thing. I love seeing that. Two of Cups is in your environment. Yeah, I mean, I see you emotionally leveling up with somebody, and it's pretty much here. It's equal. So, like I said, you know, when the heart gets so full, it starts to spill over. It's ready for a two. So here we have the overall effect, okay? You have emotional support, what I call the harmony principle or the emotional rainbow. And now we see something a little bit more personalized between you and someone else. And it's a little closer to home, literally in your environment. So I see you sharing cups with somebody, okay? There's what you have in the people in your life, which you are very thankful for. And then there's what you're sharing with intimately someone else, okay? And it's developing. You know, you have what I would call a rational fear. And this is in the hopes and fears, Ten of Swords. There's a fear here that this will cause pain. Again, this is normal when you enter in something like this. I don't know if it's new or if it's being refreshed. Three of Cups in the past automatically made that a possibility. Point is that you're open to it. Capricorn, I'm looking at, you're like, I refuse to shut anything down with overthinking. So again, non-discriminatory Capricorn here. You're open so long as it's healthy. Okay? So Ten of Swords here, you fear endings, you fear being hurt. Again, normal. Very normal. Everybody does. Especially when it starts to feel good, it starts to feel comfortable. Ten of Swords in this position, and any hope and fear is not a guarantee. It's not an outcome. It's simply a reflection of our fears and then also our hope. The hope is, if we must experience pain, because this is what happens when you develop emotional connections with people. If I must experience pain, I hope that we can work through it. Okay, again, rational, normal. You want this one to work. So the idea is that eventually, guys, in any emotional connection we have, we're eventually going to cause each other harm. Okay, we're going to hurt somebody without meaning to. We're going to step on someone else's toes without meaning to. So the hope here being, do you see the sunrise? No matter how bleak, every day there is a new dawn. Hope. So you might fear being hurt and fear hurting someone else. You would hope to work through it too. So again, very rational of you, very healthy, very normal. Okay? Yeah, especially when you understand, you get that special feeling, oh shit, this is going somewhere, huh? Feelings are being developed. I'm in this. I'm in it. Oh my God, they're in it. Wow. Okay, this is really real. This is happening. That's inevitable. Like I said, it's a very normal reaction. So I'd say you're a healthy Capricorn then. And the Hanged Man's in the outcome. It's like, we're just going to see how this develops. You know, we're going to see how this develops. More on that later, right? Stay tuned. I just like how you're showing me I'm not going to overanalyze things and shut it down by overthinking. I'm just going to feel this. You keep telling me it feels correct. So you keep deepening it, and that's beautiful. Let's get some advice for you, please. That's so nice. This is really nice. Again, hopes and fears. Guarantee of nothing. Just a simple reflection of who we are as people. That's it. All right. And that's very normal of you, too. It's like inevitably we're going to hurt each other. I hope that whatever this is strong enough that we can work through it. And that's, like I said, Ten of Swords is no guarantee of an ending. Okay? So just FYI, very rational. Let's get some advice, please, for Capricorn here. Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Cups. Okay. Wow. That's some interesting hindsight there. And it took time to develop that hindsight. It's kind of like I had to walk away from other things for a reason. It's like you can see that now. Yeah, that's right there. Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune. That's a bit of a time expanse. But lessons inherently attached to it about, I'm glad I wasn't available or open to other situations in the past, or I'm glad those other situations weren't open available to me because I wouldn't have been able to do this. That really good old-fashioned hindsight's 2020. I could see it now. Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't available or something else wasn't, because then I wouldn't be here today developing it with this person, something. The advice is go with the particular flow. You're on course with whatever this is. Very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once more. Not always, but yours famously tend to be a little bit shorter. Your energy tends to be a little bit more, this is what's going on, which I always appreciate. Oh, dear. I'm going to stop here in a minute and take a big old drink. The weather influence right now is really real. Okay, number 17, the gift, a generous offer, Ace of Pentacles type situation, acknowledgement, getting things started, but it starts with a gift, yes? Beautiful. Either from you or to you. Okay. Coffin. Scorpio energy, by the way, FYI, doesn't have to be, or an indication of Scorpio season. Things getting kicked off here around that time for some of you, which in tarot time, it's right around the corner since we're technically in Libra season. Yeah, there you go. And for others of you, a sense of transformation of what a gift is, of what generosity is. Once more, an acknowledgement that if other things hadn't worked out, I wouldn't have been able to give this forward today or receive this today. You see what I'm saying? There's something in there. There is something in there about the transformative effect, beginnings and endings. Oh, messages. Number 12, little messages kicking things off. Venomous thoughts. Be careful of this. That's that right here. Even has the snake is coiled back onto the number 8, even though it's technically 7. Venomous thoughts absolutely is a tendency to overthink. It's just one of the many variations of how people hurt themselves. Like, I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't allow my thoughts or my messages reflect hesitation, negativity, procrastination, or disbelief. I will accept what's happening here instead of overthinking it, overanalyzing it, trying to remain more in the present. Okay, very interesting. Transformative beginning and the confirmation of how endings can lead to beginnings. Okay, once more, 17 and 19. Okay. Oh, I have a little guy get away over here. We have, now that's wild, 2 H's, 8 and 8. Probably can't see that, but 8s and 8s. How interesting. We have the camel here, of course, confirmation of earth sign, and then the conservation of one's emotionality, water, specifically conserving it until we know we need it or it's safe to share it. Okay. And then we have the medallion of Pisces. So you might have some very interesting Pisces in your chart, could be connecting to one. And then we have the Eiffel Tower. One of my favorites. When it shows up, I'll tell you that. You know, you can say it's the height of romanticism, but it's also built in reality, you know? It was human beings that built it and what it represents and the symbolism behind it, all that kind of thing. Okay, Capricorn honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Scorpio, please. What's going on for Scorpio? Alrighty, what's going on? Two of Wands, crossed by the Ten of Pentacles, the Five of Wands crowning, recent past, Ace of Wands, oh my. Exiting, Queen of Swords, before you, Nine of Pentacles, I was about to say you need to trust yourself more. Strengths, King of Pentacles, because you know what to do. The Magician's literally in your environment. Whatever this is. Okay, hold on.
Let me put the rest of these down. Okay, hopes and fears, Ten of Cups, the outcome, Knight of Swords. You're all over this. Whatever this is, you're all over this. Two of Wands, you have decisions to make right now that's immediately crossing you. This is my priorities right now, is your Ten of Pentacles, is your foundation. And you're active. You're actively involved. You make decisions every day, and you take the appropriate time out to make sure that those decisions are on point with your Ten of Pentacles. Things are shifting and changing in your landscape, and you know that. You're not unaware of it. It's under your design, as far as I can tell. It's under your will. You're like, I kind of know what's best for my Ten of Pentacles. Just trust my decision making. You know, I've got a lot on the line here, but I know that. I know it because I designed it. Want you let me worry about the consequences of my actions, kind of thing. Because you're getting some kickback in your crown. Five of Wands. It's like, God dang, can I just really though? Can I get some support up in this? You know, it's, and I'm sorry you're getting met with such fussiness, and I don't know why. I see this for you sometimes. It's like, I'm just making decisions that concern me and mine right now, and I'm getting attitude from where? So I don't know. You're just saying, look, I'm focused on the Ten of Pentacles, and I want the best for my foundation. So there's some argument in there. You know, you have some argument in there, and I'm sorry. I wish it was more supportive because you seem like you know what you're doing. This is literally based on years of experience. So I don't know what's going on. But the Ace of Wands is in your past. Okay, so that doesn't mean it's over. That means it's still with you to today. This is a vision to you. This is something that you are lit up for and you have a lot of confidence in. Okay, you are literally shaping the direction and flow of your Ten of Pentacles. You're altering the landscape, but it's not by leaps and bounds. Call it 20 degrees if you want. The point is, it's not a lot. It's enough that makes a difference in your world that you reasonably and feasibly feel comfortable with, okay? And you're showing me massive amounts of comfort zone. This is what I do. This is my jam. I'm inspired. Don't get in the way, because I actually know what I'm doing, unlike most people. So you are. I mean, that's balls, but I respect that because it's true. If you were lying to me, I'd know. So just because you were, well, we're not clarifying, I'll give you that. But if I was crying, and I'm sorry. Other people disagree or they don't like change. I understand that. We are fixed water, so I know we can empathize with that a great deal. We're not big on change either, but unless it's emotionally correct for us. If it calls to us, then we tend to gravitate towards it. Like most fixed signs, we don't like change unless we're the prompters of it, you know? And for some reason, I see you making the best decisions you can for your foundation and future, which as far as I can tell is going really well. And someone's like, no. Or it could be a couple. Someone's like, no, we're going to fight you on that. Tooth and nail. Well, I hope you like a good fight, bitch, because this is how it's going down. You're just like, seriously, can't we just have a nice day? Can I put in some good work and put some money in the bank without somebody be like, what'd you do? What'd you change? I don't know if I agree with that. Was it your work? Was it your leadership? Was it your direct hand? You know. But that's what it is, you know. You're showing me leadership here, and I got this, and I'm sorry you're being met with, I don't know about that. But anyway, this is based off something that you've experienced in your past, and this is something I have to do. This is a new opportunity for me. I'm going to strike while the iron is hot. You know, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Okay. And I got someone who is exiting said kitchen. Queen of Swords. That is very external. It's very different from you. I don't know how else to put that. But somebody who's like, wah, wah, Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And that's all you get from this person who is part of the kickback. It's like, have you considered this? What about that? Da, 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 da. You know what? Maybe, yeah. I think it's great. It's time they took their exit because you're not taking whatever it is they have to say. And I'm sure that they mean well. I do. I'm sure that they mean well. But it's not supportive. It's more like, you know, that kind of line of inquiry that makes you feel like you're being devalued or degraded or that you don't have sound judgment and not trusting you in what you're trying to do, when in fact it looks like you have more experience than they do. So yeah, that kind of strong mind, firm will, listen to me, my way or the highway. I'm going to fight you. I hope that they had good intents, and I hopefully they even had some good ideas. But for the most part, they're withdrawing. So that argument then, that tension should be coming down because you seem to be determined to do your own thing. You're like, I'm Nine of Pentacles over here. I told you, don't argue with me. And that's very much like, it's very much like, I told you not to argue with me. I know my business. And so you do. That's no joke for you. So I wish they had put a little bit more trust and faith in you. And it's not just a Scorpio thing. I see this all the time for people. I have this strong idea. I have this strong thing. I got this going on. Yes, it's different. Yes, I'm deviating from the norm, by the way, I created. So I appreciate that you're a little questioning of that. And I'm sure you have good advice. But the fact that I have a foundation to work with at all under my own labors is indicative to what I can do. So perhaps trust me. Not your fears about my change. And I say that. It's not just for you. I've seen that for people before, particularly earth signs. So you actually, speaking of which, you might have some strong earth in your chart. Because guess what? Guess what's under your strength here? King of Pentacles. What you know in your experience is really high. You've created things before. You have shifted and changed things before. You're experienced in this. Like, I know my comfort zone. I know my jam. I know how to build an empire. Thank y'all. So I don't know what it is you're working on, but you're currently all over it. You're all over it. You are all over it. And the idea is I'm going to destabilize things a little bit so I can restabilize under this new idea, regime, thought, action, or belief. We want to keep the good parts, right? But yeah, what you did is working quite well for you. It's literally under your strengths. You're head of household energy, strong provider here. It's like, I know my role, I know my resources, I know my place. Thank you. Anyway, the Magician is under your environment. Once more, you're kind of smacking to me and everyone who listens, I know what I'm doing. Dear universe, I'm trying to do this. Let's make it happen. Sincerely, Scorpio, with our little S on the signature. You're making it happen. You know what you're doing. You're pulling it in. You know, you're doing what someone else wouldn't dare, and that's where all the argument, you know where that comes from, right? It's a psychological thing. You're doing something that most people just dream and or talk about, but I wouldn't do it, and most people certainly wouldn't, so let me talk you out of it real quick. No. That's what you would do. That's not what I would do. You hold yourself back all you want. That's what you would do. I don't do that. You're going to see what happens? I've grown in experience, and I have the strength to manifest and back it up in the real world. So you want to concern yourself with your foundation that's never going to shift or change. I'm going to look at mine. Thank you. I mean, this Scorpio's got balls, yeah, or breasticles, however you want to put it. We don't discriminate around here. All right, Ten of Cups and the hopes and fears. Again, you're a provider. I can see that. You're a Scorpio who is naturally inclined to provide. At the end of the day, you hope for the best for everybody who you're connected to, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you clearly support, and you consider, I suppose, loyal emotional constituents to your life. Those are your concerns. You hope for the best, and also what you would call a healthy fear, given the changes that you're making. You would fear for it too. You don't want anything to upset the dynamic. You want the best for your dynamic. So again, hopes and fears, once more, is not an outcome. It's not a guarantee. It is simply a reflection of who we are as human beings. You have one, therefore you have the other. In other words, the mirror. Who's on the other side of that mirror? You hope for the best for your Ten of Cups, as a King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, who's magicianing and doing stuff would naturally want. Okay? Therefore, you're afraid. You want to make the best possible choices for those who are in your life. Okay? And the Knight of Swords is in your outcome. Guess what? You're busy. You're not just over here theorizing, you're taking action on it too. So where's the fault? I mean, you know, I'm sorry that this, whatever this is, isn't supportive, but at least they're taking their exit. And it's like, well, if my opinion's not wanted, opinions are like assholes, honey. You know, and that's true. It's true, but who knows? Maybe they'll come back around and be more supportive. But for right now, it looks like their concern / worry / argument isn't needed. Okay, it doesn't look like it's needed. Like I said, I wish they put a little more trust in you and what you're clearly doing. You know, because The Scorpio I'm looking at, it's that Scorpio's will, it's that Scorpio's way. You make things happen, you know? Just because someone else wouldn't dare to dream doesn't mean we're all like that, you know? I don't care what sign you are. It's not enough, guys. It's not enough to have a wish upon a star. It's not enough to have an Ace of Wands. It means nothing. As I tell people all the time, want is easy. Desire is easy, right? Wishes are easy. What are you going to do to back it up? And that's where most people fail. Let me tell you something. As I went over in the announcement, I've shifted careers many times, not jobs, careers. Did I have those moments of fear and trepidation? You bet your ass. Did I push past them? Yeah. Because I know what I can do. The Scorpio I'm looking at, you understand the same. And every time I did a major transition, there was always somebody going, and I understand that. I do. But it always came back down to one thing. Their projected fears, not mine. And that's the difference between someone who blows out a candle and someone who navigates by the night stars. The star. Some people are only capable of blowing out the candle. And they hope something will just land upon them one day, fall in their lap. Other people make their dreams come true. Okay? So you go on then. You're not a dreamer, honey. You're an active participant. Action, action, action. Let's get some advice, please. And I tell you, you never see it so much as in writing, right? When I actually started taking writing seriously and then therefore started to take me seriously, I would hear from people all the time, oh, I have this great book idea, so why don't you do it? Oh, because it... No, but you do it. You take the idea. No, why don't you take it? Because it's your idea. It has nothing to do with me. My wishes, wants, or desires. You take it. You do something with it. Oh, but it's never going to happen. I was like, then it's not going to. You're absolutely right. All right, 9 of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. Baby, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Actually, no, you're not. You're beautiful. Get the fuck out of here. You don't need to be here. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. I'm saying what you do, you back the fuck up. Why are you here? Why are you here? Bzz, go. I just wanted confirmation. Well, you got it. You got it. You got it. Look at that. Look at that. Sense of self, pride, individuation. I got this. I am my own wish fulfillment. I make it happen too with the Knight of Wands. You are all over this. Look at you. Look at you. You absolute badass. Oh, look at you. That's what I'm saying. I wish they would trust your experience. Oh, I don't know who that is to you. I have no clue. But again, someone who projects their own fears. Well, I assume it wouldn't work out for me, so I just kind of want you to get the same vibe. You can keep that vibe, honey. We don't want, you know, you can go and keep that vibe. That's cool. That's cool. That's your dad. That's not my dad. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Yeah, no, we have can-do attitude around here. We make things happen. That's the messenger, number 1. Yeah, I bet you talking and taking action. It's very swift, very colorful, very vibrant. I feel like that's you. Okay, toil and labor. You're used to working hard and you don't see it as a negative. You see it as a positive. That's right. If you do what you love, you never work another day in your life, even while you're working. That's what I'm saying. You do what you do with color and flair, and it shows. It's beautiful. Number 38. Anything else here, please? I think we got it. I mean, I didn't really need to get 15 minutes out of this. It was really speaks for itself. And you're on the change. As I said, you're active. 999, such an independent Scorpio. What a badass. Look at that. You're actively pursuing change on your terms. Yeah. What's up? Oh, right there on the finger. Big heart. Yes. So you have a big heart. It's beautiful. Big old feelers. Right there, speared right there in the heart. Oh my, so many medallions. We have the letter L. We have the infinity loop, clearly. This means a lot into you, and it feeds back to you. That's the point. It's not useless like a circle is. It feeds back on itself natively. A healthy loop is exactly that. It goes back in equal tandem. Okay, we have the arrow of Sag, striking home, Cupid's arrow, and then, of course, just taking aim. The Eiffel Tower, interesting. The height of romanticism, but also built in reality. All things are possible, even if it seems at the fantastical level. The crescent moon, for some of you, the next crescent moon might be important. We have the medallion of Gemini here, keyword being intelligent. We have Aquarius energy here, also the keyword here being friendly. And then we have, oh, look at all the air signs are here, but all their words. The keywords here being charming, Libra, intelligent, Gemini, and friendly, Aquarius. And then we have 2 medallions in the upright at face value, and that would be Virgo as well as Aries. excuse me, you might have any of these placements in your chart or could be influenced by one. Of course, I did see heavy air here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it does not have to be absolutely. Okay, Scorpio, honey, I do hope this helped you. Get out of here. Go take care of business. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Pisces? Show me, Pisces. What's going on for Pisces? Six of Wands. The Hanged Man. You're like, it's about time I started feeling good. Good. Crowning you, Four of Swords. After a period of rest. Okay. The Star in your recent past. That means it's still available to you today. Exiting, Eight of Cups. Man, you're really present. Not too long ago you weren't, but today you are. That's beautiful. Before you, Four of Pentacles. Okay, we'll see. Strengths, the Knight of Swords. And your environment, Death. Things are changing. Okay, Two of Cups and the hopes and fears. Outcome, Ten of Swords. Indeed, it almost feels like you're waking up, and I know that seems kind of scary there, but I think you are waking up from something that's happened, or you're coming to terms with it. Okay, so Six of Wands, there's a sense of triumph in being seen. And not too long ago, that just wasn't the case. It's like I said, it's like you're waking up after a long period of being off, waiting, healing, or things were changing and transforming. Okay, and I know that seems so odd. And you're going to continue to feel the effects of this, all right? But I feel like you're waking up out of a long sleep. I don't even say like Sleeping Beauty, but I don't want to be all that dramatic. But you're like, I'm kind of tired of being quiet. I'm tired of resting. I'm tired of healing. Not that those things aren't important, but I would like to get out for a little bit and feel a little better, you know. And so you are. A Hanged Man's kind of taken off temporarily. It's suspended state for you, and you feel good. It's like almost dare to feel good. Not too much. The Four of Pentacles is here. But it's almost like this feels nice. It feels nice to come out and be part of the world for a little bit, to have the sunshine on my face, to feel seen again. You've had a long period of being away. It seems like Four Swords is crowning you. That's still with you. The lessons of healing and being quiet and reflective are still with you. And they're not done. They're not done. I see you kind of going in and out a little bit. Okay? Trying to wake back up to life and feeling sensations again, because you've been away for a while. That's the Pisces I'm looking at, and you're still not done with it. It's going to be a process for you, so let me make that clear. We have the Star in the past. You know, here's the thing about the past position, and here's the good news. The past doesn't mean it's over. It means it's still playing in some way a role in your present and therefore future. It's just you experienced it in the past, and that means you can still have access to it. So the Star here, there's something you very much deeply hope and desire for. Star pathway, a goal, something that you could navigate by. Again, the star is a fixed point that we navigate our lives by. It's a little different. It's a lot more deeply satisfying than the sun, but it takes longer. It takes longer. And as far as I can tell, your goal right now that's going to be with you is started in the past, it's going to be in your present, it's going to be in your future, is long-term access to healing. But every now and again, you want to get off pause with the universal remote, and you want to play a little bit. Just not like play, but get back to that play function. It's good to get out and breathe a little bit and just be seen, whatever that means to you. But you are really keeping long-term healing as your goal with you, past, present, and future. What's exiting for you is the Ace of Cups, the sense of walking away. You're still learning to emotionally detach from a hardship, and I'm sorry, we'll get to that. But the Pisces I'm looking at, you already know. It's not a surprise to you. Doesn't make things easier, but that would explain to me immediately why you have long-term healing as a goal. You're saying it's going to be a day-by-day thing over a long period of time, but that you finally learned to emotionally detach from what looks like a difficult situation. And like I said, it still has a role yet to play. Four of Pentacles, like I said, you're not getting crazy with it. You're not. You're still showing me a sense of responsibility towards conservation. Conservation towards resting, healing. You're like, it was hard enough to stop being emotionally giving to a situation or a person that's clearly ended or over. Okay. He's like, that was hard enough. So I don't want to get crazy with it. It's nice to have a good day, but I have to keep my long-term goals in mind. Your strengths is the Knight of Swords, so you're willing to take action when you need to. Okay. You show up when you need to, where and how and when you need to. Okay. In your environment, your surroundings, death, something's currently under a transformative state. It's not just about being over in this context, it's under transformative state. Again, hence your huge emphasis on long-term healing as your goal. And I see you keeping that at the present of just present of who you are. It's almost like a shield for you. I have to keep that in mind yesterday. I have to keep it in mind today. And I have to keep it in long-term. So this is where I, as a tarot reader, also acknowledge the humanness in the situation as a person who's experienced loss. Okay. If you've experienced loss and you're still learning to adjust yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and in your household or outside of it, it's still important to you, I am sorry. You're doing a fantastic job. You are. This is what long-term healing and loss and grief looks like. So that could be you. I'm not trying to bring it down, but guys, reality is what it is. Real respect's real. And I think it's exquisitely disrespectful when you don't acknowledge the obvious. It's what makes us all human. Life, death, and everything in between is what makes us human. The least you can do, the bare fucking minimum, is acknowledge it. Okay? I don't know how old it is or how fresh it is. It doesn't really matter, is it? Learning to readjust is learning how to readjust is learning how to readjust. Now, let's say it's not physical death. Okay? Let's say something about your environment has changed and it's still changing. And it's a rather sizable transformation that's going to require patience and healing, etc. Like I said, keeping that goal in front of you at all times. I'm sorry. But you're still making progress. You're still making progress. Okay? Hopes and fears, Two of Cups. There is a hope for equal love and a fear for it too. That old thing. Will I ever have someone of my equal heart space? I hope for it and I'm afraid for it. Healthy, normal, depends on what your goals are. You'll know more about that in time. I don't know when, because you're still processing a great deal of pain and transformative energies. You're doing, once more, a great job of it. And I get it, guys. You can only hang out in lessons and quietness and reflection and healing over grief before you're just like, I need a Six of Wands day. I get it. You think, I get this. I totally get this. A lot of people, sometimes you just want to go out for a little bit. Help recharge your batteries a little more. Just not too much. Okay? I'm glad you gave yourself that space. Even you recognize, okay, I'm a little sick of this. I need to get out a little bit, which is good. It's healthy. You want to get the sun on your skin. You want to get the sun in your eyes. You know, you want the connection with other people. It's a good thing. It means you're waking up. Just not all at once. That's all. So Two of Cups. Do you in time hope to connect to an equal? Absolutely. Are you a little afraid of it too? Yeah, normal. Very. Especially if you consider if you experience loss. Okay? The outcome is the Ten of Swords. It's pain, but there's hope on the horizon. You have to keep that in mind. Again, that's all I've seen up until this point. Pain, grief, I'm healing. There's hope. I'm not trying to run away with it. I still have an obligation or responsibility to heal. But I'm also trying to get past the grief too, because I recognize that as my responsibility. I understand. And I think that's a very healthy point of view to take. Okay? Don't you worry about that Two of Cups. It'll happen in time. For now, you have quite a bit of progress here over a difficult subject. And that's what I want you to take with you. So once more, this is either your reading or it's not. It's very distinct. That's it. If it doesn't resonate at all, I shan't be surprised. Please check your other placements. Right? That's the drill. That's the gig. What I see for you Thursday may not be the same for what I see you Sunday. You know? So I don't want any Pisces to be disappointed. It was this person's turn. It's what I needed to see today. Okay? All right. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please, for Pisces. Let's get some Pisces. Let's get some Pisces. Let's get some advice, please, for Pisces. King of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Okay. Okay. Lots of commitment here, strength of will, head of household, resourceful, reliable. Advice. King of Wands, Five of Cups, the High Priestess. You know this too shall pass. You know. Okay. You know this too shall pass. Commit to thyself too. You've been devoted to this, particularly your own sense of healing energies and acceptance. And King of Wands, Five of Cups, and the High Priestess. You know, and it kind of gives you a boost, a bit of a gentle boost. One day you won't always feel like this. It's correct. Okay. Commit to your journeying and healing processes. Everything you're experiencing, as far as I can tell, is quite normal. You're going to be all right. And not to rush anything either. Otherwise, you can't listen to yourself properly. Okay? The Messenger in masks, you know? The different sides of one's face. And I have to point this out to people. And there's so much misconception because we get so used to interpretation of seeing one thing in one direction. No, that's the whole point of the dual mask. I thought it was obvious, but it's not. We can wear multiple masks. That doesn't mean they're negative. It's called being human. You know, in this context, showing one side of your face versus the other side depends on who you're talking to, situation, and context. Just because you wear a mask doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just kind of like saying, this is how I feel right now and what I can show you. And there's other times I can't, but I don't want you to see it. Okay, so here I'm saying someone who make a conscious decision to express at least one side of their face part of the time. So this is the Messenger that's bright, it's swift, it's vibrant. That's the side you show some people with that Six of Wands. And it feels good. It helps you refresh a little bit. But there's the other side not everyone sees. Okay? That's probably the more stoic face, the brave face, the face of responsibility and commitment and doing what's right. Okay. Behind that mask can be pain. Here we have, again, what's more. I thought it was obvious, but it's not. The sun and the moon. There's the display and what's easy and obvious to recognize, and then there's the moon, our secret selves. We don't just go on and on about that to everybody. Okay? Number 40 and 1. Just, I suppose, know who you can open up towards. Right? Home, yes, I know. I see that that's the concern here. Death is on that home environment. I understand. Something's changing, transforming. Okay? In the Book of Wisdom, you know this. You know this. You're not stupid. That's what you're struggling with, is to accept it. In a way that's gracious, dignified, but supportive too. Okay? 426. The letter W, and the hot air balloon in reverse and upside down. It seems like we've gained enough perspective, it seems. Okay, we're not trying to gain any more insight right now. I think you know what it is you rise to and what it is you don't rise to. It's like I know everything I need to know. It's just my obligation at this point to kind of accept it. Okay, Pisces, honey, I do hope this helped you. I like how there's a brief admission here in your Two of Cups and the hopes and fears. Will there be more about that later? It indicates that you still have hope, despite what surrounds you. You know, very healthy, very normal. And the answer is yes. But you won't see it yet. Okay? Anyway, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on? Show me Cancer, please. What's going on for Cancer? Show me Cancer. One more. Let's see Cancer, please. Three of Pentacles. Okay. You know what? This might be the first time I'm seeing that card today. That's been very absent right until now. Almost weirdly absent. Okay, the Knight of Cups is crossing. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Ten of Wands is crowning. Ace of Pentacles is in your past. Okay. Exiting Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups before you. Okay. We'll talk about that. All right. Strengths, Queen of Cups. I know. In your environment, the moon. Yeah. There's some things here you don't want to question too deeply. I'm going to have to challenge you on that one, clearly. Like I said, I'll get back to that. Hopes and fears, the Lovers, and the outcome, the Seven of Pentacles. This is interesting. I see you participating in a dynamic that, frankly, your heart's not in it, but you're still playing along like you're cool, and you're not. Okay, so let's just rip that Band-Aid off. Three of Pentacles, whatever this is friendly at best or cooperative at best, but your heart's literally not in it. The Knight of Cups, bare minimum, you don't feel you can be vulnerable towards it like that. And the emotionality towards it's spotty, like romanticism, and like I said, emotional openness or vulnerability. Your heart flow doesn't go towards this Three of Pentacles, and you can have a Three of Pentacles with anybody. Whatever this is better suited officially as a friendship, if that at all. You're saying it's quite the strain. This is physical. This is happening now. Ten of Wands crowns you. You're saying present day, where I stand with this person, is that I struggle to get along with them, act cool towards them, but my heart doesn't open towards them like that. And frankly, Christina, it's a burden. It's a burden to get along with this person. They're not even friendly, and I'm not typically, I kind of have to force myself to get along with them right now. Why? Why do you feel... I know you got a big heart, honey. You didn't have to tell me that. I know. But at what point does it cost you to have a big heart? Do you feel guilty? Because your love flow is not for this person, not like that. You can't feel vulnerable towards them or romantic. You say it's a struggle just to be a Three of Pentacles with them, then stop. It can't be worth your heart space if it's costing you like this. You're saying right now things are unknown in your environment. That tells me this person's very close to home, and that's the last place you want them to be. Anyway, I get ahead of myself. I know I do that. Yours is very outspoken, though, today, so I appreciate that. Now, this is what's interesting. The Ace of Pentacles is for you in the past, which means it's still available to you now. The past doesn't mean that it's over. It means that if it was available to you once, it still could be. You're experienced with it, you felt that way before, or you've acted that way before. You're telling me in your past, you know what it's like to have a new beginning, and you remember it very well. You remember what that's like, the excitement of it, and the solidity of it, and it's happening, and you remember what that's like. You remember what it's like to have new opportunities. You remember what it's like to create them. You remember what it's like to be part of them, to gift them to you, to give them to others. You remember what Ace of Pentacles is like. The Two of Swords is on the exit, so that's good. That sense of I don't know what's going on. That's exiting, which is good. That means we don't have any real excuse for being blind about a subject. So that's good. Perhaps you're gaining more clarity on this very subject. Because let's put it this way. An Ace of Pentacles that says new and I know what it is, and versus a Three of Pentacles that you can barely get along with and frankly you don't want it near you. You tell me which has a stronger appeal. There's really not much room to confuse the two about which is superior. That which you can throw yourself into, or that which you're kind of hanging yourself back for, and for who? Whose benefit do you do this? Seven of Cups in the near future. It might surprise you, honey, but you're going to be more open to emotional experiences. And I think that's what's ebbing away for you, that doubt or confusion. I don't know that my heart's necessarily trying to open up to new or anything else. Oh, no, it is. And I think that's what you're gaining insight on every day. The idea of prospects of new versus what it is you're currently endeavoring upon, which seems to be laborious at the best of times, trying to make something work with you, trying to cooperate with it, not trying to lose your temper, not trying to show boredom or disdain or emotional apathy towards that situation or person. I think that's the Two of Swords that I'm seeing for you is on the exit. Your confusion about this, or your willful confusion about it. That this is indeed what is really happening. That's what's actually going on. And not some sanctity nonsense about protecting their emotions. No. That blindness is going to start making its way out, because not too far from now, you're going to start getting that feeling, that vibe. I'm trying to extend outwards. If I can't connect to this emotionally, what can I connect to emotionally? And that's what the Seven of Cups is in this respect. You're going to start putting your feelers out there, and you might be surprised where... Actually, you won't be surprised. What am I talking about? The Lovers is in your hopes and fears. You're not surprised at all. But the point is that you're more open towards it soon. Okay? And it's not going to be a decision. It will be a feeling. I'm closed off to this in all the ways that are vulnerable and soft and romantic or loving. But I want to open up outside of it. So what does that mean about what I'm trying to give to this, or force it to fit a particular picture? Okay, so just FYI, Queen of Cups is in your strength. No, I know you're a big feeler. So be careful how you use that strength. Or pros or cons, or cons or pros. I don't know who you're trying to preserve emotional loyalty to, because the way you try to fit this in your life suggests it's not the Queen of Cups. So you're trying to remain emotionally loyal to this, dignified towards it. Who are you trying to protect? Yourself? Them? Even while you try to open up outside towards it. The Moon, honey, I got news for you. It's in your home environment. There's a lot of things here we're not looking at. But again, that's starting to lose its grip. Okay? We're going to have to start facing some things here in that home environment. Whatever it is you're trying to force yourself to play house with or get along with and act like you're cool with it, that's going to start losing its appeal. Especially when you can remember what a new beginning feels like, and you can start feeling your heart stretch outwards beyond this because it wants more, it's craving more, as the Queen of Cups is going to crave more, guys. That's the downside, or positive, if you will, depending on how you look at it, is the King, Queen of Cups. They crave to have their heart space expanded, stretched by their equals, not their lessers. Whichever this is does not stretch your heart space. Therefore, it is not your equal. We haven't really seen this yet. Hopes and fears. Well, as Monty Python would say, it kind of reveals my age now. Actually, I didn't. I kind of grew up with it, but my dad, he loved Monty Python, and there's only a couple episodes you really remember. And then the movies, of course, are brilliant. I absolutely love the movies. Everybody's typically is the Holy Grail. Mine is A Life of Brian. Love it, right? Such a nerd. So it ended up rubbing off on me anyway. But famously, what they used to say in their sketches, and now onto something altogether different. I'm sorry. I'm doing a poor job. You think I'd have it memorized. On to something else altogether. In other words, here's an abrupt change of subject. And you do have an abrupt change of subject. You know, it's this, whatever this is not a lover's connection. Let's get that out of the way right now. This is something else. Like I said, you gave me a hint here with the Seven of Cups in your future. You're trying to stretch outwards to have your Queen of Cups here satisfied in love. To really have it stretched out. There's a lover's connection here that you are tied to deeply, spiritually and emotionally, not physically, not right now. It doesn't look that way. You hope for it and you fear for it. You hope to have your thirst satisfied. You fear for it too. What's it like? What's it like then to be at max capacity? What's it like to have your heart space finally stretched out? to receive its fullest? What's it like to have all of that? You hope for it and you fear for it. Seven of Pentacles in your outcome. For now, things will continue on their course. They won't necessarily improve, but they may not degrade further. This is a reflection of the choice that you've made here on your opening to more or less concede to get along with somebody, even if it costs you. Again, I would ask you, why does your heart point outwards from this? Because the Queen of Cups is not satisfied, the heart is not full, your thirst is not satisfied. Okay? Because whatever this is does not command that space for you anymore. If it ever did, I don't know. It is something that we have yet to fully reveal about our closest space under the moon. You will have more insight the more your Two of Swords exits. But for now, you maintain the path. When and if and how that lover ever comes into play, I don't know. I just know that, like always, classically, the more you make progress in one, you therefore make progress in the other. That's usually how this works. Okay? Advice. Let's get some advice, please, for Cancer. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please, for Cancer. It's hard, guys. You know, I can see why it's a fearful thing. If you've never really had your heart fully expanded before in a strong emotional union, you know, what's it like to have everything? It's a fearful thing. You think it wouldn't be, but it is. You've managed to make a meal out of scraps. So, just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's the best way I know how to relate what I'm saying here to people, okay? Told yourself in this situation to make do. Ten of Swords. The Star. Page of Wands. Ten of Swords. What's your star? And then you'll figure out if it's worth opening up towards and healing. Is this your star? Is that your star? There will be pain if you continue to accept this. If your heart continues to try to keep itself open towards that. There will be pain if you try to heal something that's very important to you. So what do you open yourself towards? I'm not too big on the idea of a moon hanging out in my house. That's all I know. It's something I refuse to acknowledge, but it's kind of important. Okay? But that's me. Marriage. Number 3. Wealthy men. 13. And the Lover's energy. Something here represents commitment. Something here represents the idealism that is the Lovers. And in between, we have what you call the wealthy man. You may not be identified as a wealthy man, but if somebody feels like they're caught between these two concepts, between what is and what could be, we really have to know here in this context one's worth. What's your worth? This or that? I don't get to decide. I do know this. It's your responsibility to understand your star, therefore, what is worth navigating by, and therefore healing. It seems to involve pain in either direction. So, what's the pain you can live with? The kind that you can hope for and heal with? Or something that you are familiar with, and you seem to have a plan about how to deal with it, It's up to you. I honestly don't know. This was quite blunt. I will say this. There's not too many cooks in the kitchen. Only one shows up physically. But there are spiritual cooks in the kitchen. Okay? One remains a theory, but quite strong. The other one's a given reality, known existence. But you know what to give from it. So again, what is your worth? Okay? 3, 13, and 9. Okay? Apologies if I'm repeating myself, but hey, that's what I do, yeah? All right. We have the letter I. We have the seahorse, a sense of protection of emotionality. I know, I've seen that. So here we have masculine emotionality. We swell with emotion, but we feel the obligation to keep it close in us. Yeah, I know, I've seen that for you. I get it. So again, who do you carry all the emotion for? Yourself? And what reason? Who are you trying to protect? Because it also represents the protection of those emotions, you know? We have the arrow of Sag, or Cupid's arrow, or your point striking home, the letter I, and then the medallion of I love my dog. Some of you love your dog. Yeah, a little paw print on the heart. It's very cute. Okay. Cancer, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.